Now, let us begin. Well, kind of.
Oh, need to get into tabletop.
Yep.
Tabletop.
Make sure you have your tabletop open. Make sure you have your character sheets open, as we are getting serious. And I have no prep for this session, nor any mental preparations. So I apologise if I'm all over the place. Yes, I am live. Hello.
Because I homebrewed a massive 2-army fight today. It can be done.
I've come off of the back of eating macaroons and drinking elderflower press. So
did I say homebrewed? I meant completely improvised out my ass.
I've done that before. It has gone well sometimes.
I will just say I am drinking apple brandy at the moment.
I will just say I am drinking
and I'm
fermented
not at
apple
my
juice.
best. I'm not at my best right now.
I am drinking sparkling orange press.
I'm just very
drinking
tired.
tea.
I'm drinking Thatcher's Gold.
Ooh.
I'm not drinking anything at the moment. I
Which
will be
she
drinking
stole from the miners.
Wow. Now, which ones? Because I have to ID some of them.
That took me a sec. Like what? Why? What? Oh,
Yeah.
that Thatcher.
Yes, yeah. I was quite proud of that one actually.
You should be. That was good.
That is pretty good.
I'm
never going to forget that, and I'm now going to start using that when I'm at work. See how many enemies I can make out of customers. I do it anyway. Alright, hello and welcome to Crabby D&D. I am here with my players. Harlan.
Hello.
Jamie.
Hi.
Simon.
Hello.
Sudz.
Greetings.
Sam.
Hello.
And Infernal isn't here at the moment. He is currently late. He said he'll be here soon, hopefully, so we'll see when he shows up. Usual announcements. Thank you for the artwork. We have new things in the wings for Campaign 2 that is on the horizon.
Exciting.
Yes, wonderful things. All the audio and music comes from Tabletop Audio. You can go and check that out. I do this on Tabletop Simulator, and all the maps were done by me. We are taking next week off, as we have multiple players missing. So, next week we will not be here. However, we will be back the following week, hopefully, provided there are no hiccups or any problems outside of that. Gives me more time to prep, and hopefully, if you move forward in a significant way today, it gives me more time to prepare for next time. So, yay, because we all know I'll procrastinate until the Saturday before the session. Unless Jamie stabs me and tells me to start actually working on it next week. Anyway.
You wait till the Saturday before the session.
Well,
you do it that early. Don't you do it the morning before?
No, I do it on the Saturday because that's when I'm working. I'll run it over in my head, and I'll get home and I'll forget most of it, and then I'll panic build it on the Sunday.
I see. You
So
do what I do if my Sunday mornings are free.
My Sunday mornings are never free. That's the problem. Anyway, enough about our bad D&D habits. Let's get into today's session of Crabby D&D. Last session, our party of murderers. With their...
What?
Wait, what do you mean?
We have never committed murder.
You did. You also kidnapped
The
someone's
occasional
parent.
Purging.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, killing? Sure. In self-defense? Sometimes. Murder? No.
Torturing of old
Manslaughter?
helpless men
Yes.
as well? Yes.
I would say that all of our self-defense has been either in the defense of ourselves or others.
Yes.
And when we've self-defensed people to
I
death,
want to say
that's
that
their own fault.
That old man killed himself. I just made him go insane.
And what about
That
the
was
child
not-
you slapped?
That wasn't okay. That wasn't murder. That was a child. Yes.
what about the retreating army?
That wasn't murder.
That was war
crimes.
Oh, right,
Come
perfect.
on.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. No.
All right.
checked.
Either way,
Geneva does not exist, therefore it's not a war crime.
last session, our party of minorly inconvenient self-defense artists.
Yay!
Elsyan, Queglod, Sasha, Malcom, Bern and Rook. After devising a treacherous plan to abduct Queglod's mother using gate, they went into the magnificent mansion. After deciding where it should be placed, they went in, moved some tables aside, got some Farnsworths to act as decoys and defense artists in the case of it being necessary, before summoning a gate, using a gate spell to call Queglod's mother, Prill, to the centre of the magnificent mansion. In that instance, with everybody around and her being completely unaware of what would happen, Rook taking several swings, Queglod doing what she needed to do to finish to finish her off, as well as the rest of the party doing their bit to take her down. Seemingly it was too easy. That was when they found out that her spirit was free, roaming and otherwise attempting to escape. With this attempted escape and a certain ethereal nature to it making it difficult, the party spent a good hour of Benny Hill music trying to chase her down and figure out how to capture her, before eventually
So
her soul was shattered and sealed away. With this, and her soul now destroyed and broken, a threat was made from Goiva. Knowing full well what happened, he sent a sending to Queglod, letting her know that playtime is over. With that, we ended the session last time, and we pick up where we left off, with each of you, otherwise some of you in the mansion, some of you outside of it, as you were roaming around. Malcom was heading down the stairs to go and speak to various individuals and prepare for a conversation that he needed to have. Sasha following suit to try and catch up, as Rook, Elsyan, Bern, and Queglod all remained inside the mansion for safety's sake. So, that is where we currently stand. With you separated like this, I will first go to the Malcom and Sasha group. So, what would you like to do?
Malcolm, I know you've got your thing to do, but the last time that I was separate, that someone was separate from the party, they were kidnapped by a demigod. Actually, no, they were kidnapped by basically a god. Demigods. I wish it had been a demigod. I could have fought back if it was a demigod. Point being, let's get back into the mansion and talk this stuff out before we disappear off, because otherwise, I'm pretty sure we're going to get murdered by Queglod's dad.
Sure.
Great.
Okay.
Where was that door again?
You head back
There
to
we
the
go.
door in the closet of your bathroom. You head inside and you see the rest of the party otherwise there. Queglod with a stern look on her face as Rook hands her a jar with the swept up ashes of her mother.
Oh, good. You've got your mother in a jar. What do we do? Queglod? Your dad. What do we do?
It really all depends. If he's coming after us, we want to be on the defensive.
But if he's coming after everything,
If he's ignoring us and trying to accelerate his plans, we need to be aggressive. Because we won't have another opportunity.
Well,
I mean, this is a man that has an army at his disposal.
Hmm.
okay, this is your father. You're probably the person who knows him best. What do you think would be his reaction given what we've just done?
I think he's quite careful and quite patient. I don't think he's likely to lash out after this. He'll try to keep stay in control of his emotions and do the smart thing.
but is he able to do so? We have just killed his wife.
I mean, you saw what happened to me when Elsyan died, and we weren't even dating yet.
That is true.
Wait, what happened?
Oh, I went into like a depressive funk. It was,
Oh.
and then there was
Aw.
like the somewhat
Okay.
obsessive, I'm going to bring you back sort of madness.
Mm.
So that was
So,
pretty dark.
you went into denial, and then the denial.
bargaining, and then I got it.
You skipped like 5 stages of the 7 stages of grief. I said 5 stages of grief. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
It's 5 stages, and do those stages regress when they come back, or
Yeah, who knows?
who knows?
What, do you suddenly go into bargaining to give them up again after getting them back, and
Or,
then...
or do you save your
Go
progress
into
so when they
denial.
die again it goes straight to acceptance?
No, it's...
Anyway.
Right, but thing is, if he... if he's not going to be immature, the immature thing would be to lash out at us specifically. If he's now lost an advantage by having your mother, Queglod, then he's going to try to double down on us. Those of us who are able to stop him, us.
Hmm.
He's going to double down on the fact that we're tired, we've just been in a fight, and
Hmm.
so he might accelerate his plans to happen as soon as possible.
Yeah. He doesn't know how the fight went for us, or shouldn't at the very least. You could clearly sense my mother's soul vanishing, but he shouldn't have been able to know exactly what went down. He shouldn't be able to scry here. So as far as he knows, the fight was incredibly easy and didn't take any effort on our part.
As far as he knows, but he would have faith in his wife, would he not?
I suppose so, but my point is he can't know for sure exactly how all this went down. If he believes that we're really weak, he would naturally try to finish us off. But if he thinks we can keep going, unless he's got some defense against her, we're just going to do exactly the same to him as soon as possible.
Well, I think. Oop, no.
I still have a 9th level spell slot left.
We want to try and gate Queglod's father here.
It's possible. It's not divination magic, so it won't be stopped by non-detection. He'd have to have been prepared already any defenses against it, and the chances of that, whilst not impossible, are fairly slim. When it comes right down to it, the chances of him having prepared that are, well, frankly, it would be almost as if there was some inane narrative or a plot line that had to be maintained if that were the case.
Are you saying that the universe would have to give him plot armor?
No.
That's one phrase you could use to refer to it.
Gate has
This is an
Gate,
in-character discussion, Chris.
at which point a voice in the sky says, "Gate has its weaknesses, motherfuckers."
I'm aware. I just like poking fun every now and again. No, but you're right. There are certain situations where it'd be possible. I hope I'm wrong, but I suspect I'm not. As to how exactly he'd go about doing that.
Well,
as far as I'm aware, the only defense that would work reliably would be either some form of anti-magic, or to be in the presence of a being capable of blocking.
I wish. Well, technically you're correct, but you're forgetting one thing. If he's set up his own demi-plane for a year, and good God, is he had the time, then or his own extra-dimensional space, there's a strong chance that he could have technical ownership of a place. I'm not necessarily saying that would entirely block it, but it certainly could make things more difficult, seeing as I don't know the exacts of it.
It's plausible, but if he has a reliable and easy defense against that sort of thing,
why wasn't it being used on his wife?
Yeah. I suspect he's been more defensive while she's been
more aggressive.
Going out and
earthquaking the shit out of us. Yes.
Yeah, teleporting around more while he's been more on the back lines. It's a good division of labor, but that's not going to work for them anymore, which might cause him to become more aggressive.
Well, the way I see it, we need to be either way. If he's coming for us specifically, or going for activating his plan, we need to be aggressive. You know, the whole offense is a good offense is a best defense thing. That's a thing, right? I've heard a dwarf say that once or twice.
Yeah, that's probably accurate. Okay, Chris.
Yar.
I've got pretty high insight. I like to think that means that Sasha knows how to read people.
Right.
Is there any chance I can try and work out whether I think Mr. Prill is gonna like go on the full-on offensive, or if he's going to just be going like calm and collected from what I've known of him, because we have interacted back in the gold mines,
The
underneath
Gilded
Maverick.
Halls.
The Gilded Halls, yeah.
Yeah.
And we've had our occasional interactions now and then.
I will say, what is your modifier? Oh, not your modifier. Yeah, your skill modifier for insight.
Plus 11.
Okay. Given your modifier is high enough, I will say go ahead and roll me an insight check with disadvantage. This will be stacking modifiers of how much you know about him versus how much he has shown off and portrayed through deceptions and performances and such like, as well as your previous encounters. Okay.
29.
29. You think
Obviously, even I didn't expect that one.
No, that's fair. Through your own experiences and what you know, you don't know his spell list by any means, but you do know that if he's from what Queglod has said, he is a cold and calculated individual. He thinks about all of his plans. He works out all of this. You went into the Gilded Halls. He had a meticulous plan set out. There were illusions in place. However, you have since uncovered that those were through the previous ones that you encountered. Those were most likely Jalilah's spells doing. Meaning that the majority of his spells don't have this playful aspect to them of being illusion or tricky. A lot of his stuff is cut and dry, offensive or defensive. The nature of what you understand about him. You haven't fought necromancers, you haven't fought the way they work, but you know the wingless and the way that they fight them. You've been with Queglod long enough, you know her hatred for them. You've fought some necromancers in Oromats Ravine, but that was a very, very slight encounter. The extent of what you know and what you can predict. If he's going to do anything now, it would most likely be, given that you outnumber him, even if you're weaker than him, he can't necessarily go in as he is on his own. If he were to face you face on right now with nothing else behind him, he would lose, and he knows that. You're pretty confident that he knows how strong you are. You've done your research into him, he's probably done his research into you. With that being the case, and the fact that they have intervened in previous occasions against the party, and they have been working to achieve their own goals, he's probably not going to derail the entire thing for a simple chance at vengeance. He's not coming after you. If he is going to complete his objective, he will complete his objective. But you don't know what the time frame on that is. You don't know how successful they are. You don't know if there are anchorage crests in place. You don't know if Ringar's already back and roaming the Empire. You haven't heard any word. There's nothing of that that's been sent. You don't know any of this. There's a lot of information which lies unknown. But from the roll, he's not coming after you. That much you feel very confident in. But his next steps are still lie very unknown to you. Very good roll with disadvantage.
Oh, I know. I'm genuinely buzzing here. Like, holy shit! I am insightful.
Oh, and a general reminder to everybody: you all have inspiration after last session. Remember, so make sure you have that noted down.
Oh, I do need that.
As long as he doesn't kill our loved ones.
I don't think it's so much our loved ones, it's everyone else's loved ones that need to worry.
It's all the loved ones we need to be concerned about.
Oh, yeah, but...
Again, he's not going after you lot. If he's going to go after anybody, he's going to go after your weakest, or he's going to start enacting his plan. That's what you believe is the next step for him.
He wouldn't be going after family for vengeance, but he could be sending people after them to keep us busy. We don't... That seems like a reasonable plan that he might try to enact. Just keep us off his back for
Keep us
however
distracted.
long.
Okay, I will relate everything to the rest of the party.
Yeah.
That I've like beautiful minded it, like I've done the Sherlock Holmes mind palace thing.
Just go ahead and roll me a d10. We'll see how many minutes of standing there just staring into the abyss this takes.
Oh god.
If it's above 2, Elsyan is in front of you waving his hand.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
5. Just standing there, just staring into the abyss.
Sasha, snapping finger at Sasha.
Okay.
You okay, Medal?
No, I've worked it out. He's not coming for us. He's going to try and finish his plan, or at worst, he'd probably try and hit some of our weakest members. Yeah, I went too deep, Sam. I went into the mind of a madman.
Wait. Sorry.
Elsyan.
Sasha, who's Sam? What are you seeing?
Giant beings rolling dice. No, it's fine. Point being, Goiver, Queglod's father, good old Mr. Prill. He's not going to be coming after us directly. He knows he can't take us on. He's going to be heading either to complete his plans when we don't know how quickly he can get that done, but I'd bargain quicker than we'd like. Or he's gonna go for the people around us who are weakest, our weak links. Now, I don't think he's necessarily one for revenge in quite that manner, hot and angry, but I'm not going to put it past him. No, what he wants to do is he wants to complete his plans, cold, calculating, get it done right. I think we can safely take the fight to him, but we need to take the fight to him, or in some way stop his plans. I don't really want to go up again in another fight like that without a long rest, but at the same time, I don't know how long we can wait. There's no way for me to gate one of the entities out of where they are. We've established that, I believe. So I can't interrupt it that way. There are a couple of things I can try. Chris, correct me if I'm wrong. As a cleric, am I able to pray for an hour to change my spell slots around? Not spell slots, prepared spells around. Or am I going crazy?
No, when you at the start of the day you pray to begin your selected spells.
Right.
So for each spell you change, you spend, I believe it's 10. It's a minute per spell level. For each spell you change. Previously, as rules as written, it's supposed to be just in general. So if you have like 7 9th level spells, it takes you a good hour to put all of those in. But I've twisted it so it's only the ones you change.
Okay. I have some ideas, but I'm gonna need some time to work it out. I might be able to. Wherever they are, your father has a large army of undead somewhere. Now, that has got to leave a mark. That much energy. Either you, with your connection to Raven Queen, or me, with my connection to my goddess, Holy Atoran, blessed be her name, we might be able to track that down. Worst case scenario, even if we don't find your father, we can at least take down whatever army he's planning to unleash. That's an option. Anything else you can think of, please go right ahead. I'm going to be doing a mind palace again as I pray to my god and do weird.
Okay. Just
changing your
so I'm
spells,
aware.
just to general note, was at the end of a long rest is when you were allowed to change them.
Okay, so I thought that your whole thing there was
No. It's at the end.
You don't have to spend
That's
an hour
all.
now.
No, that's all at
Okay.
the end of a long rest. You can change them.
So there's no way to change them before. Okay.
No. When you take a long rest is when you change your spell slots, but then when
Okay.
you finish the long rest, that's when the time kicks in.
Worth a try. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, we
didn't
might need
clarify that very well.
a nap. No, it's fine. It's fine. Might need a nap before. I might need a nap before I can do that, though. A long nap.
Speaking of that, how are we doing in terms of transportation? 'Cause it seems like we want to go on the offensive here, but
Where?
where and
Well-
how much can we travel?
Hold
I
on.
don't have teleportation
Bern's
circle.
got
I've got teleport, not teleportation circle, not the same thing. If we had a long rest, I would be able to.
I'm loading into your resident taxi's spell slots and stuff at the moment. He
It-
cannot teleport today. He can only teleportation circle.
Well,
He's
he can get us
he's
back.
used his 7th, 8th, and
Yes.
9th.
Oh, that's a point.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I won't be able to I won't be able to teleport either, I don't think.
I've got a 1 in 3 chance of getting us there. Anyone like
Sa-
those odds?
No,
What?
that's
1
two...
in 3.
Okay, let me describe this another way to Sasha.
What?
That's a 2 in 3 chance of us not getting there.
Okay, if I'm wrong, we don't die. Just nothing happens.
Wait, get where? I'm sorry. I
Oh,
get
right. You're sorry. I was like, what do you mean? And I was like, oh yeah, you're gonna divine intervention.
God, take me to the heretic.
Oh god.
We just pop up like to somewhere that's.
Or turn around, take the wheel.
Until take me to a heretic. We just go to some like into a guardhouse where they've just been like capturing like worshippers of a Turan, and they just look up at us.
I hear you've been blaspheming.
I like how Sasha turns into Captain Barbosa, funnily enough.
I see those more as guidelines. Activate the murderinator. What? What's that? You don't want to know.
Compromised self-defense artists. Anyway.
Yes.
Compromised self-defense artistinator. Come on.
Anyway, point being, I'm going to look through my spells for a bit. Someone else take the conversation wheel.
That was a whole lot of smarts coming from Sasha. I'm quite surprised by that.
I mean, Sasha has to go into these like very long meditative states when doing that sort of thing, otherwise her brain fries.
I'm just glad I was sitting down for it.
Is your brain okay? Alive? Well?
Yeah?
Good. Just wanted to make sure that you weren't getting brain damage from this.
No, I'm fine.
Good.
Right. Do we have any leads on where to go then? The big deal is going to be taking down the anchor crests. They're central to the plan. I don't know exactly how the plan relies on them, but he needs them all set up for something.
Historically, I mean, you guys before I joined took down one of the crests, did you not? Is there a chance that it was put back in its original position to finish what it started?
There's
It's
a chance.
possible. They can't just be
Put
set
anywhere.
up anywhere, or at least not for what he's using them for. They require ley line in some manner.
We know of one place that has a fully functioning ley line. Goladon. That's right? Goladon?
Bastion of Rust.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. That place definitely has one set up. We also know the one back in the Gilded Halls. I'd like to think Maverick would have let us know, seeing as he was at our wedding like a week or two ago, but I don't actually know how time works. It could have been months back. I don't know.
Send a
Could have
sending
been last
maybe?
year. I'll be honest. Time goes fuzzy wuzzy.
It was 3 months ago, but yeah.
3 months is a long time.
And you
I
do know
believe
he
once-
does have methods to contact you. You are
Yeah,
aware of this.
But
But-
what if he's dead?
Yes.
Has anyone got sender or something? Maybe send him a message saying, can you just check it out? See if it's there? Or send someone?
I'd rather not send Maverick into that. You know, Maverick's a friend. I'll have him send some goblins. Can I send a sending to that effect, Chris?
Yeah, that's fine. I won't have you word it.
I can't be bothered to word it, but just like, hey, check this out. Thanks.
Okay. You get the following.
Kiss, Sasha.
You get the following reply. I'll send some of them down and being cautious. I haven't heard any other issues from them, though. I'll let you know within the hour.
I'm not going to reply because that would waste a spell slot, but outside of a sending, thank you, Maverick. God, it's so nice to have competent people.
Hey! Sorry, I just assumed that you're insulting me when you say that sort of thing.
No, my love, I'd never do that. Infernal.
Lies.
Okay, fair.
Loving relationship.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
There was Oromant Ravine as well.
Hmm.
I believe the ley line there is now repaired.
Um,
God, I really don't want to go back into that hellhole.
I've only been there
Unless-
once. You guys were there twice. I
I
still
don't
don't
think there's an
understand
easy
that.
way there. We've never been there, but teleportation magic and that place have always gone really well in hand with each other.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
feel
The
like
one
there's
that was
a heavy
there was
dose of
set up to keep it.
sarcasm.
The one that
Yeah,
was
a
there
little
was
bit.
set up to keep it out of their reach, so they probably haven't gone back and replaced it there.
Golodon's a strong. Oh, well, sorry. Bastion of Rust. Rust. Whatever the fuck it's called. That one is probably
Bastion
a
of
strong
Bast.
option. Rustian of Bast, yes. Elsyan of Bust. What?
Okay, so our chances, our options are either go and check that out, wait back from, hear back from Maverick,
Or do some weird divine connection with the Raven Queen and a Turan to try and work out where the undead are at.
there. My proposal, alternately though, is if we can't find this army, do you think we should let the higher-ups kind of know that there is an undead army somewhere?
Oh yes, we should
Probably.
definitely do that.
We could, but
Yeah.
Hmm.
or
They have evidence that they can move the entire army quite easily.
Yeah, you're probably right. Fuck it. You know what? I'm just going to turn myself into a sending stone for the foreseeable future. Rohal, Dragonborn Paladin lady, Dratini, not Dratini. It's close to Dratini. That's how I'm remembering it.
It is. Give me a sec. Hang on, that's wrong character. I'm looking through multiple characters. Oregon Davini.
Davini, there it is.
Hmm.
Davini. I somehow doubt one would get through to the Emperor. I feel like that one's just a bit of a he definitely has something to stop those from coming through. Otherwise, he'd just be inundated, right?
What's that?
Right.
No, that would make sense. There's got
Is
to be
there-
some way to get in touch with them, though.
Yeah.
I can get in touch with Blackhold as well. There's not a huge amount they can do.
Yeah.
They're pretty.
I will say at
expensive
this
over
point,
there,
I am
but-
going to be like sticking my head outside of the door to send these. By the way, like just so I don't have that 5% chance of a fuck up.
Okay, you'll have to stand fully outside for the sake of this, but it won't have a negative effect. That's
Okay.
fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I found Sasha's
Um,
waist.
Is there anyone else who I think is important to know?
Malcolm, do you want to let the Queen know? I'm assuming you're in contact with her.
I don't have the spell slots for that.
Okay.
I have the spell slots and I can send them through to her. I know she's a ruler, so she probably also has defenses against it from weirdos, but it's worth a shot if you'd like.
Does anyone remember that goblin's name that we went
Oh,
with? Could we pass a message on to him? To pass it to her?
I don't even remember my own name half the time.
Malcolm, do you remember the goblin's name?
No, but then again, I don't remember. Well, technically I do. I just don't know where my notes are for it.
Kuzo.
They're somewhere.
No.
Kuzo Golan, leader of Clan of Mud.
That's it.
You're welcome.
So, would it be possible to maybe send it to him then to liaise the message on?
yeah,
Yeah.
that could work.
Fuck it, I've got the spell slots. Let's go for it.
Kuzo.
Okay.
The poison for Kuzo.
Kuzo. Anyway,
Kuzo's poison.
Right.
Right.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fair.
Oh, wow.
No, we get you. We get you.
I'm
I
going
get
to be back in just 1 minute.
Okay.
See if my food is here.
Okay. So, in which case, what order do you want to do these in? So who's first? No, Simon.
Davini will be
Sasha.
first. Davini will be first.
Davini will be first. Okay. Okay. I need to roll a d20 here.
Oh my fuck! She's not on the set. Is she not? Is she not a different state of being? On a different plane of existence?
No, she's on the same plane of existence. I'm rolling a d20 to see whether she's protected by divination at the moment or not.
Oh,
Because if she's in
fuck.
the because depending on where she is, depends quite heavily because they do have divination protection around the capital for certain reasons. Okay.
Fair.
You otherwise send the sending. The sending is the same gist as the other one to prepare or preparing for an undead army.
Yeah, specifically this one is about. We understand. The necromancer, undead army, gated somewhere. Gated somewhere. Connected to ley lines, and be prepared. Kiss, 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 Sasha.
Okay. You receive the following response. I think I understand. We've got our hands full here in Oregon at the moment. But I'll let the king know as soon as I can.
We have a
If
king.
you
I
have
thought we had an emperor.
It's an emperor. Yeah, okay, fine. An emperor.
Sorry.
If you
Sorry.
wish to speak to him about this personally, come by tomorrow.
Okay.
I don't need to send a sending to Rohal. I'm just going to go down and see her. I will send the one to Kuzo though with the same information, except I will say kiss, 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 Malcom.
Right. What?
Okay.
That's your voice there.
He responds with, "Thanks. I'll get this information to the Queen. We'll prepare our troops. Keep us informed if something does go awry."
Nice. Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Then I will go down into the depths and find
Okay.
Rohal.
Is anybody traveling with Sasha?
Yes, please don't leave me alone. Not
I'll
again.
go with.
You'll go with? Okay.
Yes,
I've-
I'll go as well.
So, Rook, you go to leave. The doorway's too small for Gabby.
Oh, for son of a gun!
I'm sorry, I can't make that any bigger. It's just, can I? Can I try and make this door bigger?
Oh,
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check while I look up the spell.
I don't think I can, but could I don't.
Does anyone have dispel?
Okay, we are not dispelling this place.
No, not
this is
dispel the place. Dispel Gabby's size.
Actually, no. Scratch that. Neither of you can leave because you're too big for the doorway.
Oh, fair.
Okay, I rolled my Arcana, and that's a 25.
Rook can leave. Gabby
can
cannot.
Can I please just stretch it enough for Gabby?
You can,
Please.
given that it's a 5 foot wide and 10 foot tall, and Rook is a very girthy boy and is currently enlarged, if he were to squeeze through, you could probably do it. But for Gabby, she's a huge creature at this point. Gabby, unfortunately,
Yeah, okay.
I'll allow it for getting Rook through, but for Gabby, not so much.
I mean, that's effectively just squeezing, isn't it?
That's effectively squeezing, yeah.
Okay, sorry, Gabby, you're gonna have to stay here. Knowing that now that there's an angry griffin, a potentially angry griffin in his mansion, he summons Mini Farnsworth to take care of Gabby.
Just give
what
her
about
fish. She likes
dispel
fish.
magic?
Yeah, dispel magic works.
I
Gatsby,
will cast dispel magic.
get fish for the griffin, Gabby. What?
Okay.
What?
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 What did I just say? Get fish for the griffin
Farnsworth.
Farnsworth. Thank you.
Okay.
It's been a long day. I'm sorry.
Right away, sure.
Okay.
She starts wearing a suit, a little tuxedo and monocle.
Oh no. What have they done to
Oh,
you?
no.
Yeah.
What happened to your barding I paid for?
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
It's
so
fine.
so the
It's part of the
Farnsworths
butler class
start
now.
going and getting food unless somebody wishes to dispel
I
Gabby
did
take us
say
on.
I was going to.
You're going to? Okay, so
Yeah.
mark that off. You cast a spell magic on Gabby. Gabby shrinks back to her normal size. You can no longer mount her in your current size as well.
I didn't imagine that would be a thing. Just flat.
Okay, so you and Gabby are going with Sasha. Is anybody else going with
Yep.
Sasha?
I will go as well.
Okay. And Bern, Elsyan, and Malcom, you're staying in the mansion?
Yes.
Do want to leave the mansion?
You can if you like. I'll just say
Hello, Bern.
everyone stay. But groups of 3 seems like a strong group.
It's sensible.
Infernal, just to keep you caught up on what the party have discussed, you're going to inform your allies, and generally the understanding is that you guys want to form a plan of attack somehow. But first comes first, it's informing everybody about things that are potentially going to happen. So,
Why are we staying in the mansion for that?
to stay safe against certain divination-based spells.
I mean, I say we don't have to stay here, but
You don't have to, but it's a layer of protection.
Hmm.
It also means someone could sneak in and sabotage the mansion while you're gone.
oh, that door is so going invisible the moment Elsyan leaves. Don't care who's inside.
Someone just sets a bear trap out outside your bathroom.
Fuck. At this level, bear traps don't do much damage to us. It's more of an inconvenience to get it off. Oh
Well,
god.
Well, the
I've-
White Dragon Riders, should we let them know? Because they're up in the mountains.
If y'all can.
And they could be an inconvenience to powers to be.
So we'll
potentially.
stick to a half an hour and then go on to the ones afterwards. So who's going with? Is everyone going with now, or is it still the 2 groups of 3?
I mean, I personally don't want to be in here. Just because.
Yeah, the Farnsworths keep looking at us.
Farnsworths are creepy.
I think we should all go together, to be honest.
Right.
Let's stick together.
Let's
Let's stick together like a bunch. Like we're on a school field trip, and we've got to hold hands, and so one of us doesn't get lost.
Everyone pick a study buddy.
Oh, I want to hold Queglod's hand. Consider my size.
That
That
is
might be a bit of a
adorable.
stretch, but
Uh,
we can try.
Elsyan's hand goes down of wanting to be study buddies with Queglod. Fine, I'll go with Sasha.
Wait, actually,
I
we're
guess.
large at the moment.
Yeah, I am.
You can mount Rook.
That was always an option.
That was always an option. But
You're right,
now-
that is.
Oh God.
Failing that,
I can't tell which of you Rook's wife would kill first.
failing that, you come out Gabby. I mean, she has got a saddle.
This is true.
Hmm.
Oh god.
Okay. Either way, so you travel together, all heading down into the Undercity through the various hallways. It's a squeeze for some of you, as you are still trying to travel through doorways meant for medium creatures in an Undercity with large creatures, Gabby, Shattercrest, and Rook, all in tow. You proceed to make your way down into the city. It takes a little bit longer than usual because of this, so about 15 minutes pass as you make your way there. As you arrive at the main door into the the main war room or strategy room, the door is open, and there are guards lining the entrance of it. This is very unusual.
Would Malcolm have any idea what this means?
You haven't
since
been here long
he's
enough
been
for
here
that. You've been here a long time, but this has never happened before.
Let me see.
Is everything okay? I'm assuming we're in proximity to the guards.
Yeah, you approach and ask. Yes, we're just guarding the war room. Rahal's out on business.
Ugh, for fuck's sake.
Figures.
Who's in charge then?
No one's in charge
Yeah.
at the moment. Tiark's had to go too.
When will
Do you know
Do-
where they've gone?
That is not information that I am privileged to, nor to divulge.
do you know when
Okay.
they'll be?
Message her.
Makes sense.
Well, do you know when they'll be back?
No, unfortunately
No
not.
idea. Any expectations? A week?
Next week, perhaps.
Don't really have that long, I don't think.
I'll
All
just
I
send
know-
a message.
All we know is that she was called away to the other members of the Phoenix.
This is where it turns out the Phoenix has been actually been run by Goiva the entire time.
No, you know
Shit.
who the leader of the Phoenix is. It's the Phoenix that you got
It's the
laid
Phoenix.
with the Phoenix in the Plane of Fire, so you could get his feathers.
Oh my god, have they been invited to the fucking Phoenix's wedding?
Oh wait. Hold on.
Why didn't we invite the Phoenix to our wedding?
I just helped him get laid. Honestly, it felt weird.
Right. If that's the case, remind me if I'm wrong about this or not. Verdantis finally talked to me through the Sending Stone, correct?
Correct.
Okay, then I will use the Sending Stone to speak with her because I remember the last time there was a gathering from Phoenix members, she was there, so.
Okay. What do you say?
What are we telling Rahal again?
That there's a big army on the loose.
Yes.
Just turn to these two guards. There's an undead army, and just walk away. Shit them up for weeks.
Well, they both failed their
Well-
wisdom saves, so.
Oh, bless them. They're no Gavin of the Gate, are they?
No, of course they're not.
He's got legendary resistances against you guys.
Gavin, a guard specifically trained just to avoid our bullshit.
They serve no other purpose than against us.
So, what were you
well,
saying?
First, I'm gonna see if she will actually speak. So,
Okay.
Hello, are you there?
There's like a
Poking
small
at the-
there's a small pause, but then there's hi.
Are you with the other members?
Members of what?
Phoenix?
Oh, no. My brother was called away on business.
Ah,
Why? Has something happened?
we heard that the Phoenix members were gathering, so I thought you might be there trying to get a message to Rahal.
No, I came in my brother's stead when I went to the previous meeting.
Well, if actually,
I mean, I can hear
Well,
your side of this. What's
yes.
happening?
you should be able to hear it. It's a Sending Stone.
Oh, okay. Hello.
It's a sending spell, which means that you're hearing the sending.
I'm hearing it.
You're
not
hearing the
everybody?
sending. No, nobody else is hearing the sending. It's just
Oh.
you.
Oh, I thought everybody could hear it.
No. From one sending to the next, only the person who owns the sending stone or has it on their person can hear it. Unless they aren't holding it up to their ear. So you can hold it like a speakerphone if you wish.
Speaker
I mean,
stone.
that's what I was. That's what I figured I was doing.
Okay. So you're holding out so everyone can hear. Okay.
So
Does she know
yeah,
where it's been
y'all can
held?
hear.
I don't. I haven't been informed, no. Again, I was just in my brother's stead last time.
Well, Sasha, do you have another sending you could use to send?
Oh, I
her?
have all the sendings. I have so many spell slots left. Could before we do that, could you just ask, are you able to get a message to your brother?
I could speak to Mother about it, but
It'll just be quicker to send a sending. Don't worry about it. I just thought I'd check.
okay. Is something going on?
Oh, you're the usual, undead army in the works. Someone's gotta get it dealt with. We're not sure where it's gonna pop up. Average day at the office.
We lost an undead army.
Okay, we didn't lose them. We didn't know they were there in the first place until we found them. I've just dumped a lot of information on this person who probably has never had to deal with this sort of stuff before.
After this, just gotta go sit down and contemplate what's going on.
Anyway, I will take my hand off of the sending stone and send a sending to Rohal to the effect of, "Hi, this is what's happening. Just letting you know, be prepared."
There is no reply. Actually, hold on. Sending is what kind of magic?
Sending
Is evocation, so never mind. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna need to double check the. Need to double check.
Pretty sure.
It's evocation. I'm just double checking if that kind of magic can go through. Yeah. Okay, so sending still goes through. Good to know. Okay. You're on the same plane of existence. Yes, that's fine. So you receive the following reply. What was your wording again? Sorry.
I believe the exact wording is something along the lines of Necromancer Prill, or I only said Necromancer. Okay, I'll go through the original. Necromancer, Undead Army, teleported somewhere, uncertain of location. Prepare as best you can. Send any information our way. I think I can pull a kiss, 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 Sasha at the end there, but I may be wrong by a word or by a single word.
Okay. You receive the following message back. I'm in the middle of something. Try to deal with it yourself as long as you can. Only contact me again if it's desperate.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I
You're
swear, if
fu-
this is that fucking Phoenix's wedding, I'm gonna be so pissed.
A giant undead army somewhere would be quite a pressing matter.
Obviously, what the Phoenix is dealing with is also important. We can't be the only ones going around stopping world-ending events now, can we?
True.
It's
Might
not
fucking
impossible
feel
that
like
it's-
it sometime.
It's not impossible that it's connected, but it's hard
Hmm.
to know for sure.
Has anyone got any way of communicating with the Dragon Knights?
No,
Hey.
Infernal's gone.
I know one of them. It's from a fucking while back, but I know one of them.
I also know one of them.
You could alert them. I mean, if Queglod's dad is tied to the dragons, then they might be the first hit.
Hmm.
Mm.
Possibly. It depends on if they're going to want to get involved or
Ooh,
going to be made
Elsyan,
targets.
can you tell your mother or father or uncle?
Short of me casting teleport to go home, no.
Fair.
But that is
You should
worth
maybe
a
like
shout.
get a group chat or something.
That's what we're doing now. A group of us are talking. What's
Never
wrong with
mind.
you today, Sasha?
I rolled really well and now my brain's gone weird. Anyways, oh god, I'm just counting out my spell slots now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I've got one more sending I'm willing to use. So I will send off one more sending to the same effect as the others. To which of your family members do you want me to send it to?
Uh,
I feel like your uncle's probably my best bet.
honestly, Delman will be busy with Sonic training.
Maybe your dad then. I feel like bothering your mother with this, like, without having like someone
think-
else there to deal with it is
I
probably.
think my dad, because he
Yeah.
will know that if it's important enough, he will also let Delman know.
Yeah. And he can talk to his wife, and she's got the political power. He seems like the safest bet.
He seems like the one that's just like, okay, tell him, then he can dole out the information.
Okay. I will do another sending. To Elsyan's father, whose name I definitely haven't forgotten.
How dare you forget his incredibly pronounceable name?
Go on then, Sam.
Emiriel.
Okay.
Aleuir,
he was prepared.
yes. Sorry,
Yeah, at me. Don't fucking at me about my dad's name.
it's the most elven name I've ever heard.
I've also got Thalius. Oh, sorry. Oh, Thales? What? What the fuck did we call my? What the fuck did we call my brother?
You're the one who called him that.
Oh god. Excuse me. I've got to figure out how to pronounce this. Carry on as you are.
Shariel is your mother. Emiriel is your father. Sobek is your deranged grandfather.
Slovak isn't really a very elvy name, is it?
Oh well. Rovolus and Thelus, or Thalus.
Thalus. God, there's unnecessary vowels in Thalus, isn't there?
Yep. Okay.
That's the one I couldn't pronounce.
So, you're sending it to Emiriel, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You receive the following reply. Thank you, Sasha. I'll let the others know. Do you know when we'll have to deal with this issue?
They might not.
Oh fuck it! Fine, I'll spend yet another spell slot on this, on fucking texting. At this point, I will let you know it's a 5th level spell slot I'm using. I hate this.
Diddums.
Soon, but unclear. Could be tomorrow. Could be next month. Can't say. Just keep your ears out. Let us know if you hear anything. Kiss, 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 Sasha.
Saying, ooh, keep your ears out to an elf.
Okay.
No,
It is a common saying.
It is.
We do get, look, Sasha, just because I'm very much a man of the Empire doesn't mean that other elves aren't very sensitive about ear comments.
Either way, he responds with, I understand.
What the
I'll
fuck
let
did
them
you just say
know.
to me, you stony motherfucker? No.
Oh god, all the classic insults come out.
Rock fucker.
Tree
licker.
lover. Tree licker, that's it.
Knife ears.
Knife ears is a classic and hard-hitting insult to elves.
Yeah.
We don't say that in the Elven Kingdom. One guy got stabbed because of it.
With someone else's ears.
With someone's ears.
The
Okay.
reason they're called a knife ears is because of Stabby McGee, the one elf who basically took other elves' ears and used them to shank them.
We cut their ears off with a perfectly usable knife and then killed them with their ears after leaving that ear in a freezer for a while.
Oh.
Okay, the rail has been deed, so let's get back.
Yes. I relate that with a 5th level spell slot.
Okay.
And
Just do some arcane recovery. Oh wait, you can't.
listen here, you
Wizard
book-loving
bitches. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Which one of us can cast wish?
I'm sorry, which one of us has a 9th level spell slot left?
Love you, Sasha.
That's what I thought, honey bunch.
So, what's next?
So fucking dumb.
I think what's next is I have a nap.
Do we need to talk? Is there anyone else that needs to be informed? We've informed the Emperor, yes? Or someone that will inform the Emperor?
Yep.
We've also that one from the Queen of Barrenlands. We've got. Did we get through to Kuzo?
We got
Yep.
to
Yeah.
Kuzo. Yeah. Anyone else important we want to contact?
I've got a sending stone to Black Hole. so
I was
will-
going to suggest it, yes.
I will use that.
I
to-
mean,
Fuck it. You know what? I'm going to send a sending to the King of the Dwarves.
Okay.
This is
Sasha,
pretty.
Sasha, are you
Mhm.
sure? Are you sure? Whenever we talk to them, they're massive assholes.
That's why I want to tell them.
With the
No,
9th level
but
spell
you-
slot.
You're not okay, Sasha. You can't just.
At this point, I've been spending. I'll spend a 9th level spell slot. No,
I'll fucking
no.
do it again.
I'll go back in your goddamn mansion. I'll gate the fucking king of the king of the dwarves here, and I'll tell him to his face, and then I'll probably get executed. You know what? This might be bad. I think I need a nap. Angus, do you have any eggs?
You go
Some
back to your tavern and you ask him this, as you are still technically underground at the moment.
Oh right, yeah. Sorry. Sorry. Give me a minute. I'm still recovering. I'll get some eggs later. Sorry. You were saying anyone else that you want me to send information to?
I still think the Dragon Riders should be informed at some point.
I don't know what they actually do. I've never actually seen them do anything.
They guard, don't they? I don't know. I've only heard that they do gardening for the Empire, and considering they're meant to be next to
Well, they're called
somewhere
Dragon
quite
Riders.
important,
They're called Dragon Riders, right? So surely they ride dragons.
Dragon Knights. But
they're gonna
Dra-
not-
yes.
Oh.
yeah,
Surely they send dragons to sleep. Nights? No. Okay. I'm gonna stop.
Take 4 points of psychic damage from your reverse vicious mockery.
Yeah.
Complete. I have never felt damaged more deserved.
Right.
I can only apologize.
Right. Oh Christ. I can't think of anything else to do. If anyone else has anything they want to do, let
I'm
me
going
know.
to use,
I will send a message to them if you ask me to, but you have to specifically ask me to rather than saying, "Oh, maybe we should."
I'm going to use my sending
Okay.
stone to get in contact with Black Hole.
Okay, what do you say?
So, it's what, 25 words I get?
Sending stones I've modified so you can just talk back and forth as you see fit between 2 sending stones.
Okay.
So no word limit.
Right. Okay, my parents' mansion is gone, but the army has been moved elsewhere. I don't know where it is or where it'll attack. It's unlikely to come after you, but please be on your guard, regardless.
We understand. Thank you for the warning. If there's anything we can do to help in any way, anything you want found out, researched, let us know. We'll do our best.
Alright, and if you get into any trouble, let us know.
We will.
right. Right. I'm going to speak to Malcolm. Malcolm, what exactly is it the Dragon Knights do? Are they next to? Was it Arca? Oh, I don't know. I don't understand this place. You lot know more about them.
No, they're not next to Arcane.
They're just some chilly bitches.
Weren't they like
We're-
some form of deterrent or something?
I can't exactly remember what I was told about them before.
Make me a history check.
Oh, goodness. Let's see. What's my history? My history is... Cool. 7.
From what you remember about the Dragon Knights, from personal experience, they travel to the different cities, and during winter, they protect them from the harsh cold, so that people don't have to stock up wood and overly chop down areas and that sort of thing. So they don't have to build specific buildings to protect crops or go hunting, that sort of thing. They protect the cities with magic during winter, is what you know. You know that in general they did other things as well, but you don't know the specifics.
Hmm. Yeah, that's about it.
Reckon it's worth informing them? If anything, they might be able to spread the word. If they go from city to city.
Uh, Maybe. I know that they didn't really show too much interest in the last time we tried to inform them about something.
Okay.
So
Well, rip them then.
maybe not. I'm not totally sure. But I feel like if push comes to shove, they'll be fine.
Alright, I won't call Sasha to spend another spell slot then. If I don't think that it's going to be a problem. I mean, heck, they've got dragons, they can fly away if they want. I think.
They
I
can
mean, I've
probably
never
look
been
after
there. I
themselves.
genuinely don't know anything about them. Seen them in the city when I first got here, but that's about it. Okay. Well, that's all I can think of.
Hmm.
I'm
Wow.
sorry. I've just been staring at an imaginary plate of eggs for the last 5 minutes. What?
Nothing.
You're not okay, Sasha. Go have a lie down.
Look, I used my brain too much, and
Sasha,
now.
Sasha, go lie down.
Okay, I'm going to go lie down.
Right. In all seriousness, we should probably rest of us should rest. We can't act on a distinct lack of information.
We don't have very much information, and we don't have very many means to act on it at the moment.
And I'm certain that when they realise that we've been warning people of a potential undead army, if there's any news of that undead army, they now know who to get back to. Like, hey, that undead army you mentioned? It's knocking down our door. Thanks. Is this how world leaders talk? No. Do I care? I should probably. Is Sam also going insane like Sasha? Yes.
So, as you're going to proceed to, are you moving into your long rest now? Your long rest period.
Uh,
I have some spell slots to do some scrying, but I can't really think what could be usefully done with them.
Can always try. Have my dice.
Oh god, I don't want to do this because if I do this, I've got to wait a fucking week. But I'd be quite interested in using my divine intervention to find out more information. Do you guys have any issues with that?
No.
Because if I can use it to, where is the location of the army that Goiva Prill has, that would be enough for us to at least mitigate that particular threat. Or I could just try and find out any more information about Goiva, where Goiva is. It's very hard to say what would be the best information to get, but I can get information.
An inkling, if you find the army, you're going to find Goiva.
That's my thinking, but we're not 100% sure about that.
No.
At the very least, there's likely to be more clues.
Yeah. Right. I would like to attempt a divine intervention before I go to sleep after some prayers and some eggs.
Okay.
Specifically, I will be asking Otoran, I need guidance. We need to know where to locate the undead army or some way to, or where to go to stop Goiver Prill's plans. I need guidance. Please.
Go ahead and roll me a d100.
Oh boy. Remind me, it's going to be like under a 36 for me to actually get it now?
Yep. Because of your shield, it is double your level. That is a 4.
Oh! I was so scared it was going to go on to a 0 and do the, oh no, you thought it was going to work, and then, oh no, it's an 100.
You otherwise sit there and you think about it. And as you pray, you come back with warmth before you... The rest of you otherwise watch as she is praying. There's a moment of almost this stutter before you feel a reply. I can't sense where they are. Something is blocking me. But I'm still by your side. It does not use up your divine intervention. It failed, as the information you are trying to receive is being blocked by another powerful entity.
Oh
Interesting.
no!
Okay.
Ooh,
Well,
that's sphincter tightening. Okay.
While Sasha is doing this proper divine intervention, can I just be like, oi, mask, any idea?
Go ahead and roll me a d100.
Different relationships with gods. Now,
It was Gate
the D-
specifically that portal worked
7.
on, right?
I was going to say it will be equal to half your level is your DC, so 7 is under 9. So we'll get to you in a moment. What were you saying, Simon?
I was just asking if it was Gate specifically that the portal was based on, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay, so that they must be on
The same plane.
a different.
Oh, no, sorry, different plane. No,
yeah,
you
it
are.
must be on a different plane.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
cool. Right.
Okay. You ask Mask, and you get the reply back. I'm here to watch the fun.
there won't be any fun unless, you point us to your fun.
Sparks are on the way. Get ready.
Oh, thanks.
Mask, you are as unhelpful as ever. I will continue to speak your name. I will also get that thing you wanted. At some point.
Yes.
A Turan.
That is currently in possession of one Goiva Prill.
Wonderful! So everything just happens to align, like the universe planned it or something. Anyway, by the way, this 100% should not have worked. How did I actually get through to you?
Fuck if I know.
I'm not technically a deity, nor are you technically a cleric. I'm allowing exceptions here.
I was like 70% joking when I contacted you. You know what? Genuinely, thanks for actually answering. I'm gonna go before anyone suspect. Well, they probably suspect before they suspect anything major.
There's no reply.
What a dick.
Oh, he hung up on you.
No. Here's the thing. Elsyan is saying what a dick. They just like trying to somehow mentally make sure that the intervention has hung up. I think when you say something, you put a phone down and can't remember if you actually hung up or not. Oh shit! I just called him a massive arsehole. Oh fuck! I just
I do
didn't
that at
hang up.
work a lot.
I just called my boss a knob. Oh no.
Oh god.
Next day at work, I need you in my office.
No.
You
as
called
in,
me a
like,
knob
I
yesterday.
finish the call and be like, wait, Did I finish that before I said fuck off?
Oh, you
By
poor
the way.
thing.
So, moving into long rest now.
I'm going to attempt to
Oh yes, sorry.
scry on Goiva. I'm pretty sure it's going to auto fail.
I
But
believe you've
just
tried
not-
today, but even if you tried, it does fail.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Actually, I need to make rolls because he might actually be in a place where you can't target him.
Yeah, well, this is my thing. I don't know if he's got like something like a ring of
Yeah, no,
protection.
you
that would
don't
make
get
it
anything from him.
possible,
No,
Okay.
you don't get anything from it.
Yeah, because if it is area based and he doesn't have someone else to do all the like frontline stuff for him, he might be visible more of the time. So it's worth trying, even though we've tried it before.
Before I go to bed, I just mentioned, hey guys, something god level or similar is stopping any information from Goiva from getting out. So, yeah, he's probably with David.
Oh, not David.
Giving him an extra 50 hit points because of that.
Oh no, Devad, I said Devad.
Yeah, sure.
That probably means gate wouldn't work then.
Yeah.
What on David?
I mean, if he owns a domain.
Ah, just a talking skeleton comes through, and we're just like,
Yeah.
what?
No,
Novak's back.
it's Sobek. Wait, what's that behind you? Ah, this is my pal, Devad.
Oh God!
Had you met my buddy? My buddy Devad. Have you met him?
The theme tune
Guys?
starts to play.
Sobek and Devad, Devad and Sobek, together they are skeleton friends.
No, guys. What if this entire time, so like it is Devad?
And you sent
We've
him to
just
the
been
Raven
carrying it
Queen. That's a
round.
bad idea. So, you pass on the information. You each take your long rests. Where are you taking them?
In the
Assume in the mansion?
Okay. You each take
Yep.
your long rest in the mansion. The day goes by. The rest of the day, then you otherwise have a meal. Farnsworth prepares it. It's nice, but you are all anxious and mildly scared. The next day hits. You are all fully rested. You've each benefited from a long rest.
Oh, maybe we shouldn't have stayed in the mansion in case someone wanted to get hold of us.
Because sending stones don't work across plane.
Whoops.
Have we made a grave mistake?
We may have just killed some people.
No. You know what? No. We are fucking morons, guys. What have we done?
Oh.
I like the thought of us all waking up and just being like, fuck.
What did we do?
Can't use a pit.
Alright, well, let's get out and get going then.
Let's head out. We should put a voicemail on our send-ins, you know.
Okay.
So when we go outside, we can get them.
Okay. And Bern is fully restored. Okay. So,
Am I having a sleep?
yeah. You've all had your long rests. What do you want to
Yeah.
roll his temporary hit points now? Ooh, good number for him. And the other one, 36. Less good for the other one, but that's fine.
Okay.
Channel Divinity to back. Everything's good. Good. I'm all prepped and ready to go.
I'm good to go too.
Right, give me a second. Got to just look through my spells.
Yep, prepare any spells that you want to sort out.
Polymorph. Polymorph.
It's a good spell.
Okay,
It is.
so Commune's not really good. Commune and divination won't really do shit because we've already established my god isn't actually able to
Tanya.
find them.
Correct.
Right? All right,
Yeah.
I'm not going to go down that route. Then.
And just to make sure it was clear, you didn't use your divine intervention. You still
I
have
did
it.
not use my. I still have. Okay, very nice. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Because there's no way of you gaining the information, there's nothing to be used in this instance. So
All right.
you wouldn't have been able to try again the same day, obviously, but yeah.
But yeah, fair.
There's not really much point to wanting to anyway, is there?
No,
Not at the
that's
moment,
fair.
Right, then. Just double checking my spells.
So, what is your plan of action?
Try not to die.
Good start.
We don't know where Goiver is. We don't know where the army is. They're probably out of our reach at the moment. The anchorage crests, however, should be on the material plane.
Okay then.
So we don't know where any of them actually are, but it's probably worth trying to search for them.
Hmm.
How annoying. What sorts of annoying bullshit should I pull today, boys?
Calm bullshit. Easy to deal with bullshit.
Do you think we can get 10 minutes before the start of the I just need 10 minutes, basically, is what it boils down to.
Oh no, what have you got?
Sure, what for?
There's a lovely spell known as Forbiddance.
Uh-huh.
Lasts for a day, takes 10 minutes to cast, and I create a ward against magical travel that protects up to 40,000 square feet of floor space to a height of 30 feet above the floor. For the duration, creatures can't teleport into the area or use portals such as those created by the gate spell to enter the area. Spell proofs the area against planar travel and therefore prevents creatures from accessing the area by way of the astral plane, ethereal plane, Feywild, Shadowfell, or the plane shift spell. In addition, the spell damages types of creatures that you choose when you cast it. Choose one or more of the following: Celestials, Elementals, Fey, Fiends, and Undead. When a chosen creature enters the spell's area, what's what I'm looking for?
For the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, the creature takes 5d10 radiant damage or necrotic damage of your choosing. When you cast this spell, you can designate a password. A creature that speaks the password as it enters the area takes no damage from the spell. The spell's area cannot overlap with areas of other forbidden spells. If you cast Forbiddance every day for 30 days in the same location, the spell lasts until it's dispelled, and the material components are consumed on the last casting. You can ritual cast it, meaning it will take 20 minutes rather than 10. Otherwise, you need to sprinkle holy water, rare incense, and powdered ruby worth of 1000 GP to use, unless you're intending to use it for the permanent.
Now, what I'm intending to do is ask Chris, how much holy water, incense, or powdered ruby can I get a hold of in the space of like an hour?
Powdered ruby is the main thing worth the 1000 GP. Holy water and rare incense is another thing. Incense, you have a lot of. Rare incense, not so much. Holy water, we've already established you can make using the powdered silver, but otherwise you can't buy it advertly wise.
Looking at this, it doesn't seem to be suggesting that the whole lot of it is worth 1,000 GP.
It's just the ruby.
Just the ruby.
Yeah, so it's the powdered ruby that you need.
If you have some way to pick up holy water again, like the sprinkling of holy water, you could get that back, technically.
Either way, for this instance, getting holy water you'd probably need to create because you can't really buy it, as you did discover. They were willing to give you one, but it has to be shared amongst a lot of adventurers. The rare incense you'd need to go and find, so that would be another matter entirely. And the powdered ruby you'd have to go and locate. You are aware that there isn't much of a gem industry here in Adamanthia, and what there was has mostly been bought out by you guys.
Yeah.
So if you needed to get that from anywhere, Oregon is your best bet, really. Or
We need to go
Goladon.
and see the Emperor today, anyway.
Yes, that is true.
Well, go to the Emperor. Hey, Emperor, give us some holy water.
I was thinking
Hey.
more the ruby, but yeah, okay.
Yeah. Holy water. We've got. I believe most of us still have one or two pieces,
I've still got
vials
one.
of holy water yet left. Yes. Rare incense. Doesn't say it has to be good incense. Just said it has to be rare, right?
Correct,
Chris?
which none of you have at the moment.
What if you
Alright.
get a regular incense and just stick it in a thing of shit? That's new incense. It's rare.
You can
'cause no
go
one's
ahead
gonna
and
want
try it, Sam. Let's see what happens with that 1000 GP of powdered ruby you've just acquired.
I'm just saying that there's an argument to be made that any sensible DM will go, no, you're being a moron.
Let's just get some of this common incense, stick it in a cow pat, mix it in with the powdered ruby worth 1000 GP, sprinkle some holy water on it, and say forbiddance once or twice. Let's see what happens. Oh look, the ruby is ruined and has otherwise disappeared because the spell gods have
okay,
decided it's a
Chris,
bad
we
idea.
get the point. We get the point, Chris.
No!
Chill.
Chris.
Chill.
Shit
Chris,
is not a component for
Chris.
spells.
Chris.
Okay, that is objectively wrong. Back one I was used for fireball and you know it.
I know.
Chris.
Yes.
What would you define incense as?
Incense is otherwise dried herbs.
And when one common one would say cinnamon, turmeric, those sorts of things, spices and herbs, dried things.
Things that are burnt for the sense of smell, yes.
Yes, yes. Theoretically, there are a few others. You can say that there are some salt-based incenses. There are, and no doubt, I'm desperately looking up what incense is made out of.
I'm warning
I
you
should
now,
have
if you
this-
say essential oils, I will deal damage to you.
Oh, come on, I'm not that bad.
Okay, necessary lotions.
Hmm.
Uh,
That'll give you
there,
advantage on the
there
save.
they're also made of various dusts, including charcoal and a few mineral dusts.
True. Charcoal is, however, a separate component in most parts when it says charcoal and incense. So incense in this case I will deem as just dried herbs that's used
The
for
argument-
ritualistic burning.
The argument I'm trying to make here is that if you can say that some types of mineral dust are technically incense,
Not given I said that they were herbs, but go on.
how would you feel about something else that's a mineral dust made of the same thing? It's just quite a bit rarer.
If you're referring to brimstone, the answer is no.
I was referring to diamond dust.
Also no, because gem dust is its own component in that manner.
Worth a
And
try.
is it even flammable?
Also no.
Probably not. Oh.
It's like, but
Like,
you could
we
heat it high enough, Chris. And it's like, yeah, you could also heat a person up high enough. Does that make them incense?
We just need to
Quick,
find
let's
one
burn
thing of
Elsyan.
incense.
If I say yes, will you let me do it?
We just need one rare thing of incense, and that's fine. The spell doesn't consume that; it just consumes the ruby.
Yeah, it doesn't say we have to burn
This
the
no,
incense.
this
We
is
just
true.
need the incense there.
Also, this is
Um,
spell forbidden.
This is the
But
spell
yes.
forbiddance, yeah.
Where and why were you planning on casting it?
Oh, my thought process is that if I can get 10 minutes in in any area basically, where once we find that army, I can set this up, and nothing can. And if I set that up, then I've got 40,000 square foot of floor space that I can theoretically cover.
Hmm.
That's probably going to be enough to kill the entire army.
By kill, you mean lock them down.
If you'll read a little bit lower on the forbidden spell.
Oh, right.
Also, yes, locking them down.
Okay, but this is reliant on finding them.
That's fair. That's another point of like we're probably not going to be able to do that. But I'm just sort of planning in advance here.
Right.
Point being, let's go to Oregon. We'll probably find some fancy incense.
Okay. Go to Oregon. We were going to talk to the Emperor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go
Remind me,
talk
did
to
you
the
know,
Emperor of Empire Kind.
They have to be set up on ley lines, right? The anchorage cord?
Yes.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have a list of where there are ley lines in the Empire?
I have a book. I actually have a book on ley lines.
That'll be helpful.
Yeah.
Hopefully
But
this.
second that, I thought you were
hopefully this
just
still
stating
works.
that you had a book.
No, I actually had a book on ley lines.
Oh.
Nice.
Those are pretty rare, Chris.
I know. That came to my mind, and I was like,
oh my
hmm.
god!
But for those who don't, for those who aren't in the Discord, I just put my face when Sasha starts asking if Jalila Prill's ashes can be used as incense.
Guys.
And they?
Okay, guys, we can't use Queglod's mum as incense. It's on a moral level.
I won't be allowing.
Aren't we?
I won't be allowing it. But
No, we've got to be better than them.
But,
we got
um,
introduced as murderers at the beginning of this, and I'm not entirely sure Chris was one to do so.
So I'm just going to double check the book that you got. What was it called?
Oh, bugger me.
Yeah, I'm looking for the list of stuff as well, so I can try and find out what book exactly you got.
I just got a book on ley lines.
And that was it.
Yeah, it was originally a book that gave me information about ley lines and stuff like that. I was trying to find out about the Blind Butcher.
Oh yes, it gave you. No, it was on your enemies, which gave you some information on ley lines. The
Yeah, I
one that
thought
you were
I got
referring to.
I got a book that
This is the one that
bullshit
was
book that
yeah.
hates my life.
That was the
Then
one.
I got a separate book that was just on ley lines. 'Cause that's when I found out about ley lines.
Okay, so that one wouldn't be the one that's fully detailed then,
Okay.
because ley lines aren't categorized. The one that's on your enemies was referring to ley lines. Was referring to ley lines initially, but the ley lines book, none of them really detail a map of the ley lines, shall we say?
Okay, right. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
just a general.
Yeah, because
Okay.
this is something which nobody's really looked into or researched. Nobody's figured out if there's a pattern or how they're bound together. Chris has, because he's mapped the whole thing out, but that's a person who hasn't written a book. So yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I'll say go ahead and roll me an investigation check to see if you can get any information on where ley lines might be based on common threads or pieces of information.
Yeah, investigation.
Oh, so you're the only one who can do this, given that you have the book.
Okay.
I mean, we know of a few, but
That's +7, so it's not the worst. Okay. 8 + 7.
15?
15.
You otherwise begin to look through the book. The only thing that it mentions about ley lines is that places of power don't always denote the presence of a ley line, but they often refer to it. Ley lines typically follow certain routes going to certain locations that are of places of power and noteworthiness and stuff like that. From what you understand, you don't know the location of it, but Turan's Forge was on a ley line, as was the as was
We know where we thought Prince of Blood was on the
The-
ley line.
yeah. I'm trying to remember where it was. So Mount Volgrim and Sunkist Mountains were both on ley lines. You know that Oromance Ravine used to be a severed ley line. You know that the Blind Butcher's corpse was on a ley line. And you know that where the the Prince of Blood was, where he was originally sealed underneath the earth somewhere, but you don't entirely know where, was nearby or on a ley line. There are natural patterns as well. If a ley line's close to the surface, it creates mountains. If it's deep down, it creates deserts. If it's kind of close to the surface but there aren't rocky terrain nearby, it can create vast forests. If it's low from the surface but it's not too far to create a desert, it will create swamps. So there's a lot of variety. Ley lines permeate throughout a lot of area, and typically everywhere is influenced by them, but certain motes of power are key points within ley lines, usually crossover paths.
So I'll relay what I understand of it
Mhm.
to the party, and also point out sort of locations that we know where there's ley lines. And that's all I've got. That's putting two and together with the book and our historical knowledge of it.
Okay.
Who'd we lose?
We've lost Harlan. Something's happened.
Ah, okay.
But that's the best that I can come up with in regards to ley lines.
I was disconnected. That's the best thing I can think of.
Well, in the absence of any other plan, we could just search for the ones we know of and see if there's anything there.
Back.
That's
Welcome
not
back.
the best plan, but
It's
it's better
true.
than sitting on our thumbs all day.
Okay.
Bern's going to pipe up and say, how are we getting there? If we've got to get to Oregon, we've got to spend some time during the day getting there. So when do we want to go there, and in what order do we want to do this? I only have so many spell slots.
If we have to go to Oregon, let's go there first. It's not impossible though. If there's anybody who's going to have any useful information, they'll be at the capital.
Yeah. I'm also curious to what they've been tied up with.
Right. Well, I can do a teleportation circle if Bern doesn't want to use up.
Bern said he's more willing to use his teleportation circle than you to use yours. Because he uses spell points, so he's got a lot more flexibility.
I'm just double checking. Teleportation circle, is that a ritual spell?
Nope.
Isn't it?
Otherwise, it would be easy to get around. But unfortunately, it's not. Yeah, this is something that Bern was very disappointed to learn. Even though he can't ritual class as a sorcerer, but...
I mean, see, as a wizard, that's like, if it could, I could just not have prepared and still cast it.
Yep, but unfortunately, you have to prepare it.
Oh well, I've got it prepared anyway.
Yeah, I can understand the DM's reasoning, or the game's reasoning for it being this way. I also understand the player's point of view by going, but it's literally drawing a circle on the ground.
It is a ritual. It's more of a ritual than
a lot of the rituals.
a lot of the ritual spells, exactly. I kind of understand, like, I get it, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, I can, as long as we short rest before we do anything major, I can do Arcane Restoration.
I've already taken the spell points for it. He's just going to do it.
He's just going to do it. Cool, he does it.
It saves the need for a short rest, and he's got plenty of spell points to spare.
Fair enough.
Okay. Casting teleportation circle, drawing it on the ground to Oregon. You otherwise leave with the early hours of the morning, stepping out from your tavern, and teleporting away to Oregon, where you land in the castle. The guards are present still, as they otherwise point their halberds at you initially, before kind of retracting, knowing who you are. They let you pass, and you travel into the main citadel itself. We're going to take a quick break there. Be back in 2 to 3 minutes. Don't take too long. And then we shall continue and plan and think what you guys want to do when you get here, who you want to talk to, and so on. Be back in a moment.
Okay. Well, we've made it here. It's not burnt down, so that's a good sign.
Oh no. Oh.
So the main goal is to get in touch with the Emperor, right?
Yeah, that was the audience of the Emperor today.
Yeah.
And
Also,
ruby
I
dust.
can pick up some ruby dust and rare
Mhm.
incense. Let's go to. I'm gonna go to that magic shop and see if they have any good components. I'm not actually sure of the exact timeline of when we're supposed to be meeting the Emperor.
We were just told today.
Or...
Come see him
Yeah.
today.
Well, you don't actually need me, so if you do get found and dragged away, go there. I'm gonna go grab some components and then I'll meet up with you. All right? I'll head to the gates outside the outside the.
Well, Chris ain't there right now, is he?
I know, but I'm just asking. Like, does that sound
I
reasonable?
mean, that's fair enough. I should probably, while I've got a chance, look for some more spells, so I can get some specific ones, because I need to be getting some solid ones learned.
I've returned.
I need Bigby's hands sorted.
So we split in then.
I think split might be a good idea. I've got fly. What are you still doing in my weird formula thing? Shove off. Password.
If you're splitting, I'll let you rearrange where you want to go and what group you want to be with. So sort yourselves into groups if you are splitting up at all.
Okay, I'm going to the Emperor. Sasha's going shopping.
Elsyan is also going to go.
Emperor and shopping.
Yeah. Shopping.
Okay, Bern's gonna go with this group then.
Glad that we've got someone that's got some degree of sense to go and see the Emperor. Thank you, Queglod.
Look,
I mean, Malcolm's a statesman. He's
a prince, like that. He's the heir apparent of the Barren lands. There's some equality there and something.
Okay. So Sam and Harlan, if you two want to go on your break real quick, if you haven't already, I'll handle the other group first if everyone's here for that.
Okie dokie. Back in a second then.
Sudz and Simon, you're both here as well?
Yep.
Alright, excellent. Okay. Splitting off with this decision that's being made, as Bern, Elsyan, and Sasha all head outside, out to the exterior. You're otherwise inside, travelling towards the Emperor's courtroom. There's a moment of hesitation as you see the guards otherwise standing there at the edge of the courtroom doors as they otherwise look at you. One of them goes, "What business do you have here?"
We sent a message to Davini yesterday, and she said that we could speak to the Emperor today in regards to an issue that has arisen.
I'll send a report to Davini. I'll get back to you in a few minutes on that. The Emperor currently isn't in the courtroom, so if you wish to speak to him, we'll have to arrange a time.
Okay.
Okay. About 10 or so minutes later, Davini turns up with one of her paladins beside her. I'm glad that you could make it. You mentioned something of importance. If you'd like to come to my chambers, it'll be easier to talk there. You won't be able to talk to the king till later this afternoon, I'm afraid. But if you wish the Emperor, but if you wish to speak to him, it is doable.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine.
You otherwise plod through the hallways, heading towards Davini's chambers. As you enter in, the paladins are otherwise kind of waiting there. She opens the door and heads inside as you see that she has bits of paper, and you can see that where she used to have several suits of armor, she only has the one in there currently at the moment. She goes over to portion of the small table and otherwise speaks to one of the servants. If you'd be willing to get us a few drinks in here, I'm not sure how long we'll be. The servant nods and she gestures to sit on the couch opposite her.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go in and sit
Fair enough.
down.
Okay. When you go in and take your seats, she always looks at you. So, you mentioned an undead army of sorts. Are the rest of your friends here as well, or...?
Queglod, can you see if they're scrying?
I
Any
will cast
scrying
detect
going on?
magic.
Oh, yeah, I will detect magic.
Okay, you both cast Detect Magic. Both of you go ahead and make me perception checks, please.
Alright. And percent.
Okay,
So that's a 19 then.
31.
31.
Oh, no, sorry. Felipe, that's
Yeah.
24.
Yeah, because I was going to say Felipe's on your shoulder.
Yeah.
24 and 31, as you both look around, you're both very careful. In this easier and otherwise simpler interior with nowhere to really hide and it standing out like a sore thumb, nothing catches your attention as a scry of sorts. You do see that her armor is magical, as are a few things on her. Outside of that, nothing out of the ordinary is in this room.
Alright, we seem to be okay.
Indeed.
Oh, been caught short too many times with that.
Mhm.
Right. Then carry on.
Are the rest of your companions with you? Or are they off taking care of this?
They're elsewhere in the city, making preparations.
Right.
Trying a few different plans. We've got a lot on our plate now.
As of we.
Well, with any luck, they won't become a threat to you, but we needed you to be aware ahead of time that there is an army out there.
I understand, and thank you for that. As the one in charge of defense, it's best I know. I've let some of the others know, and I've let the GIF know to be on defense. To prepare for something potentially, but outside of that, there's very little that we can do defense-wise. We can but prepare if it's coming, but if we don't know where from, we don't know where specifically to set up defenses or anything.
Right.
I've garrisoned more individuals on the walls since yesterday, but outside of that, I've been unable to really do anything else. We're stretched pretty thin here.
It's difficult. We don't know where they're going to come from because they were gated out of where they were originally. So they could just be gated in anywhere.
As far as we're aware, the army is currently hidden on a different plane of existence.
Right.
How long it will stay there is difficult to say. They may put it to work immediately. It may stay there for quite a while.
I understand.
As I say, if we're lucky, they won't attempt to interact with the city at all, but we're trying to be prepared for the worst case scenario.
No, and that's the best thing to do in this scenario. Very well. The tea eventually arrives, as the cups are placed in front of you. They're unbearably small cups, for the most part, for most of you, as, you know, Davini and Rook are both large individuals when it comes down to it. Queglod, it's fairly large compared to your usual drinking amount, but tea is tea.
Mm-hmm.
A shot of tea.
Remind me if I remember, or tell me if I'm wrong about this, but if I remember correctly, something we heard about before was the fact that Hold on, gotta find his name again.
Who is it you're referring to?
Nutar's dad, dragon dude in Arcathun.
You want to go ahead and roll a history check? Because the person with the book on that stuff is with the other party.
Yeah, I just want to remember if I remember correctly about it, he ordered the vat in the past.
You don't remember
So-
any such details, no.
I don't remember anything.
No.
All right, well, I got nothing to say then.
So, just alerted them. You said you've got a issue you're dealing with at the moment.
Yes.
That?
The storm giants have otherwise disappeared. The whole fortress of them.
An entire fortress of storm giants.
The fortress is still there, but the storm giants are not. From what we usually keep in contact with them every other week or so, sending messages back and forth, seeing how things are. But the weather's been getting worse recently. Storms coming down from the mountains, and we suspected something was up when we didn't get our message this week.
And when were you meant to receive this message?
About 4 days ago.
So have they just gone quiet, or?
They've just gone quiet, and the weather's been getting worse. We're fine in here because of how deep we are in, but going outside's another story. It's heavy out there. It's difficult enough moving troops to and from the walls to the garrison. Way of life isn't proceeding out there, and the weather's getting worse each day.
You reckon this could be tied with some of our issues? Apart from the weather front that the storm giants were keeping, was there any other purpose they served to Oregon?
They're
or
a
neighbouring areas?
They're a defensive front on our western border. They protect us from the influences that lie within the mountains that lie untamed. Various giants, such as cyclopses, netons, various bands of creatures such as harpies and orcs, patrols, and raiders that would come down from the mountains. They held a large amount of influence. They also protected us from, or turned back juvenile dragons that attempted to move to Oregon thinking that they were capable of stealing from us. They protected our western front. The northern front is more protected by the Gift Bastions, and the southern and eastern front is more well built around walls. We're well defended in that regard. But with the storm giants gone, it's meant that the weather's come in, and with weather potentially means bringing in elementals and harpies.
Oh, why would they just up and leave? And you've not managed to get anyone up there to see if there's been any damage or anything done?
Our scouts should be arriving to them within the next day. Should be arriving... Given the weather's made it difficult, they should be there by the end of tomorrow. We should find out what's happened up there. We have no easy way to travel up there, and with the heavy winds that are warding against it, we can't use our usual methods of transportation and communication. Ravens can't get up there. Birds and other carrying creatures are going to be impossible. And with the mountainous terrain and the sheer cliffs, horses aren't going to work either. We have to climb manually in harsh weather.
Could that be what interfered with your messaging?
Possibly.
Or is it
If that's the
something else?
case, then the storm giants... The weather's simply that bad that the storm giants are overwhelmed, but it isn't the time of year for that sort of thing. It's high summer and these sorts of things, or no, it's early autumn. These things should be happening, but they don't usually occur until later autumn.
I mean, this is in the mountains, and after what I read about ley lines, could there possibly be something to do with the Anchorage crests there, maybe? For an entire fortress of storm giants to have gone missing. That's no small feat.
If there is leyline energy in there, then it suddenly becomes very possible that it's connected to what we're looking into. Otherwise, it may still be relevant, but could also be a coincidence.
I mean, I do think that maybe we should check this out, as it is a potential lead. It's more than what we've got to go off at the moment.
Lavinia otherwise kind of looks at each of you. If you'd be willing to do so, but if you can't get there within the next day, it's not worth it. We have sending stones with the team that's headed up there. And the team that's headed up there isn't your average group of adventurers. They are stronger than most. Not as strong as yourselves or myself, I must admit, but they are still good at their job. If they find anything, they'll let me know, and we'll be able to prepare or sort things out. It is possible that the storm giants have just been overwhelmed. If they've been attacked, then they may have had to defend themselves, and some of them may be down, meaning that their stormcasters aren't able to otherwise defend us.
I'm back.
Welcome back. There's a lot of
I am
things that could have
also back.
happened. This is why we're trying to take care of the matter as best we can.
Okay.
And so I don't believe we have the means to get there today easily. Where is it exactly that the storm giants live?
To the west of the city, about a day and a half flying, or traditionally a 3-day walk, which is made 4 days because of 4 or 5 days because of the harsh weather acting as difficult terrain. With it being traditionally a 1.5 days flight at most to most flying creatures, ravens can get back and forth within about a day's worth of travel. Given good weather, given what you've been told, flying is impossible currently. Outside of, anything that's capable of doing so, like Felipe in his big form. Simply because of his size, he's going to be more resilient to the wind. Okay. While you consider that, Sasha, Bern, and Elsyan. You head out of the
Hello.
citadel, out of the main gate. You travel outside, and not hearing or knowing anything that's otherwise happened on the inside, you get to the main gate and you can hear the heavy howling of wind and rain. It is strong weather outside. As you otherwise kind of hear this going on outside, you vaguely stop and hesitate as one of the guards pushes open the door. Natural 20, okay. He holds onto the door without flying off of the door itself.
Oh, by the mask, what the fuck is that? I don't like that in the slightest. It's gotta be said.
Deeply dislike this.
Sasha, cover your beard, I don't want it being put out.
It's a bit loud, I've just realised.
I'm not like a fucking Charmander, love. It's not gonna kill me.
I don't know what you're talking about by a Charmander, but I still somehow understand your point. No, clearly not what I was getting at. I just like you with your beardlet.
Don't worry. Turns off beard. I've got a tattoo underneath of the same thing.
How have I never noticed you've got a face tattoo? I mean, I've got a tramp stamp, but that's
Yeah.
tacky.
Yeah. Oh, you got the tramp stamp back, did you?
Oh, fuck yes! Anyway, into the rain, shall we?
Okay.
Okay. Pulling up what gear you have against this. Go ahead and give me athletics checks, each of you.
Elsa tries to step outside, just gets knocked back inside.
Okay. Bern got a... Bern got a 19.
That's 19.
19.
I got a perfectly average 10.
Okay.
If people can walk in this, technically I should be able to, but I understand if otherwise.
9.
Bern otherwise wanders out and attempts to protect himself against it, as he is otherwise buffeted to the side, and is very much leaning at almost a 45-degree angle against the wind to try and not fall over.
This is why I need to learn
For you two,
Bigby's hand.
you otherwise roll and tumble, otherwise moving a good 10-15 feet away from the door. You are now lying prone and slowly sliding across the slick mud outside of the Citadel doors.
Okay, Sasha.
You two are very much
This is a
shouting.
little-
Sasha! Okay, Sasha, I don't like this one bit. Should we go inside and I could just learn from some scrolls, or you can sit there or something?
I just wanted to get some fucking components.
Sasha,
Why?
I don't think that's gonna happen today. Or ever.
Alright. That's...
Fucking global warming, my dude.
I'm pretty sure this isn't normal. Is this
Oh.
normal? This doesn't feel normal.
You
This
shout
is
this to
normal.
the rain. Roll me a nature check.
Oh, fine. Let's see how this goes. 12. What's my... I don't think my nature's good. I'm pretty sure my nature is piss poor.
It's a -1, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's heavy wind and rain. It's hard to say whether it's natural or not, but it is heavy weather. Moving in this, you think, even with your lack of natural knowledge about this, as stated, your previous insight on this is pretty good. If people bothered going outside to open their store today, they're not getting many customers. It's unlikely that stores are open, and if they are, then you might have a hard time getting to them.
Fair.
We should find somewhere quiet to just sit down.
Agreed. Let's crawl our way back to the gate.
Go ahead and roll me athletics checks with advantage, as Bern is going to attempt to go back inside without falling over. Nope.
I can't use Mage Hand to pull myself along, can I?
You have
16
advantage
plus
from this.
4,
Unfortunately, the
dirty
DC
20.
is difficult. Dirty 20. You crawl and otherwise pull yourself forward. As you're otherwise going, you have a choice. As you look back and see Elsyan sliding through the slick mud, trying to get a grab.
I got a 6. Sasha!
Tearing up bits of grass along the way as you watch as Bern topples and
You know what?
hits the wall next to the door.
Oh my
I'm
god,
I'm gonna let you know, I don't want to use my once per day free Misty Step, but I will.
Wait. I'm trying to think if I've got anything.
Sasha,
I do have a rope on me. Can I grab on?
What?
Go ahead and make me a dexterity saving throw, please, Elsyan, and a strength saving throw, or an athletics check, please, Sasha. This will be a combined DC.
Okay, that's good. That's a 21 for Dexterity saving throw.
Oh, that's a 9.
Okay, so 21 plus 9 is 30. You meet the group DC. As you otherwise throw the rope back, Elsyan grabs hold of it and stops sliding. You aren't progressing, but you've stopped sliding.
Sasha, you get inside. Sorry, Elsyan's fed up with shouting at this point, so
We're going to imagine we're shouting.
No,
Sasha, get inside.
no. Elsyan's casting message.
He's using
We'll use
the
silent
ring,
tongue.
the silent tongues. Yeah.
Sasha, get inside and pull me in.
Fair. Doing that.
Go ahead.
I have the arms of a weak baby.
Go ahead and roll me an athletics check, as Bern is also going to attempt to go back inside. Okay, Bern's fine.
Just a straight check.
I will say, because you're holding, you have a choice. You can either have advantage, but the DC will be higher because you're also holding the rope, or the DC will stay the same.
I'll go for a
but
single
you don't
check.
have
Whatever
advantage.
happens.
Okay.
Natural one.
You have
Oh.
inspiration.
Yes, I'll
Sasha,
spend an inspiration on this.
Don't you dare.
I'm not well, no.
Harlan, don't
Okay.
you fucking dare.
I mean, what's more embarrassing, having to use the inspiration on this, or not being able to get through it and just? being
Okay, I'm gonna let you know
taken by the
now,
wind?
as Elsyan's player, if he dies to these wins, I'm okay. Elsyan deserves it.
Guys!
I mean, hey,
I'm
if he,
assuming death
I
is what
won't-
happens.
if
I won't
Elsyan
use-
does something like opens his umbrella, I'm shooting him 85 feet in the air and doing full damage.
I was so tempted, but the winds convinced me not to. I've been in strong winds with an umbrella. It is never fun.
I am not going to be using my inspiration on this.
Okay.
Also, I'm curious to see where this natural one goes.
I'm also going to let you know this, Elsyan, as a general rule and note here. With Misty Step, you're briefly surrounded by silvery mist and you teleport 30 feet. Given that you're in heavy rain, you're heavily obscured, you can see 5 feet in front of you. So you won't be able to teleport inside, but you'll be able to teleport closer to the
5
door.
feet. 5 feet in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, mate.
Okay. Just letting you know that now because of the heavy obscuration of the rain. So,
What is it? I
Sasha,
use that
as you can see the door, you can see the door, and you watch as Bern otherwise goes in. The guard pulling him in as he shouts out, and you can see the two of them. You have a choice. You can let go of the rope, or you can stay where you are, or you can not let go of the rope, and we'll see where this rope goes.
Sasha, if Elsyan dies, he would want Sasha to go with him.
Okay, fuck you. That's bastardry right at the top of it. But yes.
I'm Elsyan! I get the feeling that Elsyan is saying that through message into Sasha's head.
I'm going with you, but not because you want to, but because I want to. You shit.
Me too.
I keep my hand on the rope.
Okay. You hold your hand on the rope, and as you otherwise reach for the main road to try and get some handhold, the rush of wind shoots past, and you are otherwise pulled as you grind across the mud, digging this huge groove with your plate armor as it begins to fill with mud and grass. Elsyan now clawing as he begins to slide, the slick rain very much not helping, as the two of you are pushed back 20 feet across the grass, and you begin to slide towards the inner wall, very much away from the doorway of this. It's at this point, I would like each of you to make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
I want to know that the other two the other group is having serious discussions with rulers of the realm. Then there's us two just dicking about in the
Another
rain.
natural one.
Oh no.
Oh, bloody
Elsyan,
hell.
I'll give you the choice. You can choose not to roll, or...
I'm gonna attempt to roll.
Okay.
Two members of the party die could win.
Okay.
10. I
Sasha,
mean, it's possible, but
you're sliding, and as you otherwise hold the rope, you are sliding, you're being pulled away from the door, and you need to grab a hold of something quick to try and grab a handhold. At that moment, being a large body of metal, and being attached very closely to the ground, Elsyan, you watch as your loving wife, Sasha, is struck by lightning. As this bolt of lightning crackles down from the ground, striking the plate armor, and you watch as her body lights up for a moment as you take 15 points of lightning damage.
Ow!
And you watch as the other end of the rope snaps as it is fried and frayed.
Sasha!
And you begin to slide further away.
Sasha, no!
At this
We
point,
fought dragons, and how is this the most terrifying thing I've ever done?
Elsyan, at this point, You're hitting the You're hitting the edge of the potted gardens. You're going to start carving through flowers and decorations soon that are very much torn up in the wind.
Oh, no.
But
now, Elsyan is terrified of this wind, but he also knows never anger gardeners. They have sharp implements.
so, what would the two of you like to do? You have an opportunity to react here. Sasha's been struck by lightning, and your rope is now broken and frayed. With Elsyan, you sliding away faster than Sasha, as you are lighter.
Right, okay. Now, this is possibly suicidal. Does Elsyan get a sense of what would happen if he cast Fly on himself?
You'll have to find out.
It's so suicidal, though, isn't it? Like,
You'll have to find out.
Just to the other players, I shouldn't do this at all, should I?
No, this would generally be a terrible idea.
But it's either this, or mess up some beautiful gardening.
It's a terrible idea, but it's a very Elsyan idea.
It is. It is a very panic thing to go say, oh, I know, I'll fly and give myself less resistance to this wind.
Might I...
There is no way that this works.
How high up are the clouds?
I'll say, given the heavy rain, it's nearly impossible to tell.
Okay.
I'd say the DC for looking up would be way too high without some form of like magical sight to sense that sort of thing and see through heavy obscuring terrain.
Right.
Wait, I've got it how I'm going to push through this.
You've still got Blink. The other end of the...
I'm going to cast Blink.
Okay. You'll stay in the same place, basically.
No, because he can choose to move 10 feet in the ethereal plane.
Okay.
When he comes back.
Honestly, this is like a treadmill, let's face it. Okay. So that's a third level spell slot.
That's a third level spell slot. Do you blink immediately, or do you still have to roll?
I still have to roll.
Okay, so...
I blink!
Okay.
Love you, Sasha.
Sasha, as you're otherwise sliding back, you can hear Elsyan kind of just going, ah! And then there's just a kind of a pause, and then quiet.
Did you get that?
What was that?
Just a sort of sound?
A pop sound. Yeah. Not even that, you can't hear it over the heavy rain.
Right. God, I hope you're alright. There's nothing I can do. I can't see or anything. Elsyan! Elsyan! I'll try and find you after I get inside! And I'm going to try and use my powers only to save myself.
By powers, what are you referring to?
I am a dwarf. I have stone cunning. I have to have dealt with situations like this, as I used to live in a hillock, that in lots of mud, lots of dirt.
Okay.
I am going to dig into the muddy ground with my gauntlets and drag myself forward.
Go ahead and roll me an athletics check with advantage because you are still crawling.
You are a dwarf. Don't dig too deep. That never ends well.
And I will dig this hole.
This sort of thing normally leads to dwarven empires falling because a dwarf dug too deep.
Okay, what is the total?
19.
Okay, with your form, you begin to claw along the mud, doing what you can, using your gauntlets almost as pittons, sticking them in the ground and pulling yourself forward with sheer upper body weight as your ogre gauntlets pull you forward, sliding across the ground, pulling yourself forward and closer to the target. As you otherwise begin to move, you watch as beside you an Elsyan pops into existence. 10 feet ahead. Go ahead and roll me an athletics check, please, Elsyan. Again with advantage, however you have
Can
your...
this please be to grab Sasha? Elsyan has a plan, and it involves another spell slot, but it's the only way he can think to survive.
Okay, I'll give you a choice here as the two of you. Sasha, you can choose to let go of your full grip and your progression that you're gaining, so you'll increase the DC for the next check moving forward. but in doing so, you'll be able to reach out to Elsyan, providing him advantage on this dex save, or you can continue moving forward, and Elsyan has disadvantage on the dex, or has a regular roll on the dex save. So you can give him advantage, or you can leave him at a flat. It's up to you. You see him pop into existence as he appears next to you.
I have to give him advantage.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a dexterity saving throw, please, Elsyan, as you otherwise see Sasha next to you. Yep, advantage. You otherwise see Sasha next to you as you pop back into existence. You extend your hand, she extends
18.
hers. You grab hold of one another as Sasha begins to slide, slowly losing her foothold, leaving a bit of a groove through the ground, but you have each other's hands.
Dimension door as I am. God damn it. Can I just say teleporting back inside? Will that do?
Yep. Okay.
Or are you going to be a stick? Oh, thank
Nope.
God.
You know roughly where the door is, and given your intelligence and natural abilities, you otherwise teleport back inside into the door, caked in mud, which begins to slowly slide off due to the shishkri clothing. The door is closed to the outside world, and the sound of the strong wind and rain lighten from the interior.
Well, I didn't think it would be quite that bad.
Shut up. Just.
I'm gonna give Elsyan a wet hug.
Oh, prestidigitation on Sasha. Then prestidigitation on myself.
Ugh.
This was a mistake. I dare not look at my scrolls to see what might have happened to them.
They're magic, it's fine.
Honestly, with that weather, it's a possibility.
That's fair, that's fair. That doesn't seem natural.
No, it doesn't.
There is a certain 8th level spell that springs to mind called Control Weather.
You know what? There's a 9th level spell that springs to my mind because I'm now vengeful, and that's a storm. Storm of Vengeance. Storm of Vengeance.
I don't think that works on storms.
No.
They'll just mutate the storm. They'll do the damage and stuff, and then after the concentration's over, there'd still be the storm there.
Damn it. I just wish those storms would disappear, not actually casting.
No, generally you could cast the Control Weather spell and use that to get rid of it. It'll take some time, but we could do that. What's the rough
I don't
area
want
of
to
the
use
storm?
Sorry, I did not mean to do that.
The rough
I did
area
not-
of the storm?
As far as
In what
any
length and
information-
size?
From our... presuming that we are at the center of the storm, which I doubt we are, but just under that presumption, what is its exact radius?
Assuming an exact radius of the city, given that you'd be probably using that as an approximation. Let me look at something.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if we take out a 5-mile radius of it out, it's probably not going to be able to continue being that much of a storm because it just doesn't have the wind.
You're probably
power to keep
looking
that going,
at,
but-
from where you are, assuming you're the center of the storm, assuming it
Mhm.
reaches to the edges of Oregon and the farmland below, you're probably looking at about 35, 40 miles.
Okay, so we can take out technically if 2 of us after a long rest were able to let's assume 1 for the moment. If we take out a 10-mile circumference circle of that
Mm-hmm.
out, what are the chances of the rest of the storm slowly collapsing?
Assuming the storm is natural, it will begin to almost fill in the space after your control weather spell has ended. It will begin to fill in the space. So
But it lasts for a while.
it lasts.
So what I'm thinking is like, that we create clear space, anything that comes into there is turned to clear space, so there'll be no continuation of it, basically. So it's sort of similar to like putting a, say you've got like a swirling whirlpool, but you put a hole at one end. It's going to slowly, like in like a cylinder, it's going to drain out slowly over time because it can't continue going past that point. Because it doesn't have the momentum to maintain itself. That's what I'm I'm thinking is a possibility.
Change the current weather conditions, which is determined by the DM based on the climate and season. You can change precipitation, temperature, and wind. It takes 1d4 times 10 minutes for the new condition to take effect. Once they do so, you can change the conditions again. When the spell ends, the weather gradually returns to normal. When you change the weather conditions, find a current condition on the following table and change its stage by 1 up, down. When changing wind, you can change its direction. So at the moment you're looking at torrential rain, so you could turn it to rain. You could turn it to regular rain after that,
And then another
and
1d4
then to
times
change
10 minutes, and
to
then
change it to overcast or ground fog, something like that. Yeah. When you're looking at something like temperature, you're probably looking at cold. It's not. It's just mostly windy that's causing the issues, and you'll be looking at storm gales, or storm wind wise. So it is doable. However, you've also got to have you've got to have concentration for that duration. Going outside in this heavy weather will cause you to make concentration checks every 10 minutes.
well,
and
the range is on us. Even if we're inside, it'll still have the same effect.
No, if you ever break
Oh,
contact
it
with the
does say you
sky,
must
it
be-
fails.
The
Spell ends. So you have to be outside.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to be possible for us to
Yeah.
fix this.
Elsyan would need to be outside, and he'd need to make basically continuous
Okay,
concentration
okay.
checks on this sort of thing.
What do we consider a gazebo?
Harlan, that's clearly a
That-
large monster.
This is true. And if we know anything,
It's not
monsters do
huge.
count as cover for the purposes of projectiles, which is what rain is. So therefore, it would still break contact with the sky.
What I'm hearing here is that a sufficient number of monks could throw the rain back at the sky.
You're not wrong.
Oh, wow.
Honestly, I imagine that's how how monks train that ability. Like, if they're actually in a monastery, it's like, what you do is you just capture rain.
Have you
and
not
just-
seen Kung Fu Panda 2? What's
No.
wrong with you all?
I barely
I
remember Kung
have
Fu
seen
Panda
Kung
1.
Fu Panda 2.
Yeah.
It's very good.
There's a lot of quotes
Shit.
in Campaign 2 you're not going to get then. Alright. Anyway.
Shen was a
Okay.
good villain.
Yeah.
Also, a question about control weather. How does that interact if that is what's being used to do this?
If that's what's being used to do this, then that means that you'd be contesting. So they'd be able to equally combat what you're doing, and you'd basically be rolling d4s to see whose stuff takes effect first.
Okay.
Oh god, it becomes tug of war, but so much worse.
Yeah, effectively.
Okay. Secondary question then. What if I just start casting Dispel Magics at it?
It would need to be within 300 feet. You don't know where the rain clouds are. You could try. And if it doesn't
Elsyan?
work, you won't necessarily know because you don't know
Sasha?
the full effect of what it will do.
If you
Elsyan, how
dance-
high? How high can you teleport me?
Sasha,
We're going to fight the clouds, Elsyan.
Sasha,
Yes.
I can, with Dimension Door, teleport us 500 feet up. But, I'm going to tell you now, if you are going to make me go outside, we're done. Okay?
Okay, that's a bit much.
It's a
But
bit
I-
much,
but
you
fair.
it's entirely hyperbole, but
But
you
I
get
do-
my point.
I do get your point, yes.
I would also like to state one general thing as well. You're having this conversation / shouting contest in the doorway to the castle at the moment, and there are guards just watching you two shout about manically teleporting up 500 feet and then
No,
trying to
Sasha.
dispel the clouds.
No, try to
What?
quote Sasha.
Never seen a discussion
fight
between
the
adventurers before?
clouds.
Fight the clouds.
What? You've never seen 18th Level Adventurers discuss simple plans before? And it devolve into arguments? That's just a conversation between adventurers. Come on, man. Get with the times. Like, who needs guards? You've got adventurers now. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Elsyan 100% says that, but he does also say, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. That's just all Elsyan.
Okay.
You should go find somewhere quiet to sit down. I may... Shisui's clothes may have protected us, but I still feel wet in my bones.
Yes, I understand that.
You do. And where you'd usually be protected from weather by Shishkri's clothing, where it's protected from the weather,
have
you
you found the-
yourselves aren't. Which means because of how heavy the essence of this is, you yourselves are wet, but the shishkri clothing is dry. And it's
Representation doesn't dry you off. It just... That's interesting.
no. It just protects you against the rain most of the time. But given how heavy it was and the situation of rolling through wet mud, it has gotten through. Also, distinctly,
Luckily,
Sasha isn't able to
prestidigitation.
fully wear it given her plate armor at the moment.
Yes. We have established that my underthings are like the under armor.
Yes, your under armor that you have is shishkri clothing, which means that your plate armor
At
is
least
soaked and
nothing's
covered
gotten
in
in
mud.
any weird places.
Yeah, but the majority of you is still wet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
To do a couple more prestidigitations, I need to be dry.
Okay.
Okay.
While you're doing that, back to the other team.
Serious political talk.
Yeah.
Dumb fucks
So-
over here fucking with rain.
So you three are currently sat inside of the room with Davini around. Is there anything you wish to discuss with her?
Nothing short of that. I think we should go and check out up there, but... Rain.
If the weather is so bad that it's interfering with communication, is that what's holding the Emperor up?
He's currently handling the issue about all of this. Discussing various things, trying to get guard patrols to and from, trying to figure out ways to make sure everything stays okay.
Is it getting to the point where it's actually affecting Oregon itself, like the shopping district and stuff
Very
like
much, very much so. People can't go outside without being blown away. It was lighter weather yesterday, but it's gotten stronger since.
that?
It's possible it'll die down by the rest of today, but it wasn't this bad. It's the worst today, honestly.
Okay. What about the gate? How's the gate being guarded? That being manned, right?
Rolling 2d4.
Oh, God.
Screw you.
I didn't say his name.
You didn't have to.
We all know.
We
I
haven't
need to
heard. We
know.
haven't heard from the officers of the gate for days. They went missing when the weather began. No. We have individuals manning the gates, but most of the gates are closed and left as such. No one's getting in or out. No carts are coming in. No carts are leaving. People aren't taking chances.
That's understandable. I'm gonna look to the guys with me. I really think we should probably check this out. If this is something that's, well, I mean, it's completely shut Oregon down.
Right, 1 second.
You haven't met with them yet.
I need to math some things out.
Queglod and Malcolm, do you wish to say anything to this, Matt?
The question is, how do we intend to even get up there?
That's
Yeah.
the point. It does seem like this is quite suspicious, but if there's nothing we can do about it, then we would have no choice but to focus on our own issues.
Do you think it might be a good idea to take a look outside and see if it seems like the storm itself is magical or not?
Could do. Is there a window?
Yeah, is there a window I can go and look out and see if this storm is
Okay.
magical or not?
You're in the conversation with Davini, heading to a window that you can otherwise look out of. Who in this party is proficient with nature?
Me.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a nature check with disadvantage.
I'm proficient as well.
Go ahead and roll me a nature check with disadvantage.
Detect magic. It's relevant.
Yeah, detect magic. In this instance, if control weather is being used, it would need to affect the clouds or the caster, which is too far away out of range. So this will just be a roll with disadvantage on nature.
That is a 25 total.
Got a 14.
Okay. Both of you look at it. Malcolm, you've not experienced Empire weather before. This is difficult to say. Queglod, you've experienced Highlands weather and some Empire weather. This is more akin to Highlands weather, which usually occurs in high mountainous terrain. You are right next to a massive mountain range. It is very possible this is natural weather, and it's just the storm giants, if they are absent, has caused this to blow over. But it isn't out of the range of possibility for it being control weather. It is extraordinarily hard to tell.
Well, I got nothing.
There is a non-magical explanation, but if it's resulting from the storm giants not being there, then that still raises the question of why.
Where have they gone? And without informing anyone, it seems off. Also, leaving Oregon's western border completely, potentially unprotected. And I mean, I don't know much. I'm not going to proceed to assume Mount Giants, but considering they've got a fortress there or a stronghold, I would genuinely believe that they would try and, stay there instead of just buggering off one day.
Davini catches up with you and goes, "If you are wanting to speak to the Emperor today, let me know and I'll see if I can arrange a time. He is currently speaking to various individuals to try and get some information out to try and help those who need it."
Yep. It does seem like it's worth speaking to him. If he's spoken to other people who might know more about this, we can try and piece more information together.
Very well. I can get
And
this
if
sort
he
of thing
knows-
arranged.
If anyone knows the information we need to help us with our problems, it'll be someone here.
Hmm.
So being able to talk to the Emperor about that would be useful.
Very well. I'll arrange for that sort of meeting. I can't let you know exactly when it'll be, but assume by noon today.
How are you
No.
keeping in contact with the patrol that you've sent out?
Some of them are coming back. They're using various methods and sending some of our strongest to combat the wind. Those in heavier armor have found it easier to move about, provided they don't move too quickly. I imagine you yourself might find it easier given your larger form, but looks at Queglod. I can't imagine you'd stay grounded for long.
No, that might have some difficulty. Given that, is it alright if we stay in here for the time being?
By all means, you're welcome to stay within the castle.
Okay.
Just don't go into any of the rooms that you're not invited into, and don't go into the courtroom, obviously. But I'll arrange something.
Not a problem.
Okay.
Right. That being the case, if we're waiting, we should check in with the others, see if they have any luck
Okay.
getting through the wind.
Yeah.
Talking to them and otherwise passing the corner to go to the front, you see a very drenched and otherwise drying off Sasha and Elsyan and
Don't
Bern
Go
as they've otherwise
outside.
just walked around the corner. You watch as the door flings open and wind and rain just shoots in through the open doorway, as you watch as one of the guards tries to wrestle the door closed. That's a really good or a really bad wheeze, and I'm telling you, that's not good. You watch one of the guards get picked up and go, "Ah!" out the door.
No!
He's gone. There wasn't Gavin.
What
No,
do you
wasn't
do?
there, right.
You don't know if it's Gavin.
Oh, I'm gonna. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I'm gonna have to go out and look. After hearing what she said, I'm gonna go and try and save the guard.
Okay.
I feel bad for him.
You go
I'm
go
gonna
outside.
take it steady and slow, knowing full well that my weight might actually be a help.
Rook, don't do it! It's suicide!
Go ahead and roll me an athletics check with advantage.
Athletics is something Rook can do.
This is true.
This is plus
Means a
13.
really
Okay.
dense halfling.
21. You otherwise kind of look out of the doorway and you see the guard otherwise kind of, he's hit the door and he's otherwise lying in the mud, kind of trying to claw his way towards the pathway. He seems to have a grab on the edge of the pathway, which you can watch as the stones are beginning to almost peel and bend in the mud, as he's beginning to slowly lose his grip.
Okay, I'm going to try and get close and grab him.
Go ahead and roll me an athletics check, please. This is cancelled out for...
Is it a flat run?
This is a flat roll, yeah. Your advantage is cancelled out by the fact that you're trying to reach another character.
That is
19.
6 plus 13, yeah.
19. You reach down and he quickly reaches up with his hand as you otherwise hoist and pull him in. He goes, thank you, as the door is otherwise closed behind him, wrestled by multiple guards. As you watch as one of them otherwise gets a beam and just pushes it across the door.
I'm gonna, you know how like a wet shaggy dog comes
Agreed.
in and shakes?
No one
Yeah.
I'm gonna do
opens that door.
Everyone gets soaked.
Okay.
All the guards turn to Sasha in unison and go, agreed.
Okay, fellas. On the off chance that for whatever reason you do end up having to open it, which again, we shouldn't do under any circumstance unless the Emperor demands it. I have a way to make a...
Even
then, like,
you just,
question it.
you can
I know that's
dispute it.
treasonous, but Jesus.
Well,
Dispute it as an unfair order. I think there's laws for that or something.
Look, point being, I have the ability to make some tar. As unpleasant as it may be, if I put some tar on the floor, would that help you keep your grip on the floor, should this have to be opened again?
I don't know how they'd feel about us tarring the castle.
Do you think anyone cares right now?
The Emperor might care, yes.
Honestly, if the Emperor's out there, is the Emperor out there or is he actually in the castle?
You don't know.
Well, I'd assume he's
I'm asking one of the guards.
Oh. He hasn't left through these doors.
Well, okay. If the Emperor ever wishes to leave, a question of sanity. If I ever wish to leave, question my sanity. If Sasha wants to leave,
No point
Clever.
questioning, it's already gone.
Rook might survive. Rook, we're gonna need you for food and water. We're stuck here forever. Wait, no, we don't need you for water. We've got far too much of it.
Well, we should really touch base and catch up with each other about this storm. There
Oh,
is actually a cause.
wonderful.
Can I go find a kitchen?
You're
Is
gonna
there somewhere
wander
we can
off?
go and sit?
Are we just gonna like just make ourselves at home in the Emperor's castle? Does that
No, I'm
sound-
gonna ask if I'm allowed to use the kitchen and then go find it.
Somewhere we can sit.
There
Food
is
hall.
a kitchen. One thing I'm going to quickly ask: what's everyone's passive perceptions and investigations? Just because with the rain and everything that's going on.
Perception.
Investigation 17, perception
You know what?
11.
I'm just gonna wait for everyone to say before I flex on.
Deception 15, Investigation 18.
Fuck it. Perception 24, investigation 27.
Alright.
Just passively, I am Sherlock Holmesing this shit.
And Malcolm?
22 and 14.
Okay. With the passive investigation that you have, Elsyan, a lot of the guards, with the situation of suggesting not to ever open the doors even against the Emperor's order, quite a few of them do have a slight tendency to agree with the general investigation of what's going on.
Sensible
And
people.
with the nature of using tar, some of them do have combat understandings of what tar can be used for, and in some cases locking off your only exit with tar might be a bad fire hazard.
Again, not locking it off. Specifically, I'm
No,
thinking of
but putting it on the
coating
floor
their shoes and the floor.
and
Just
trudging
in
it
like
everywhere.
just in patches, so that they can walk on those and then have advantage on any checks to keep themselves in place.
The general notion
Yeah.
of it is probably not. And looking at the state of the area around here, if it got wet and they had tar, that would probably do a counter effect of having grip, because they'd have smooth soles at that point.
Right, fair enough. It was worth a thought. At this point, I've got no fucking clue what to do.
Could we consider that you need to go find whatever tower shields you got here and pray?
Yes, battle brollies. Yes, shields. Shields are your friend.
Or you will hold onto a shield and the winds will take you to places unknown.
God, I fucking hope not.
That's right,
God.
Sasha's got a load of them.
I do actually.
They don't
Fair-
sell.
She even got one for a wedding
Again,
present.
they did sell. They have sold.
No, they haven't. Not in my canon, they haven't.
That's fair. So, Malcolm, were you going to go and see if you can find a kitchen?
Yes, I want to go make some food because that's really all Malcolm can do right now.
Okay.
I assume we're all going together to
Okay.
eat and...
I'm just gonna sit down and learn Big B's hand. That may be useful.
Okay. You want to sit down and learn Big B's hand? Okay. How long will it take you to learn it?
Oh, at the very least, it's a start. I don't have to learn it all at once, do I?
No.
Big B's hand. It's a 5th level spell.
So 10
it's
hours?
It's 10 hours.
Okay.
It's a 10-hour job.
Take a 5-hour chunk out of that because that's how long it is until you can speak to the Emperor. As he does get slightly delayed. But Malcolm, you go and otherwise acquire food, heading to the kitchen, making it your own, or otherwise acquiring it from the chef and the various individuals here. You grab food. Anything else you want to do while you're in the kitchen?
I want to inspect the different utensils here and see if there's anything I might want to pick up in the future that might come in handy on, advancing.
I didn't catch that last bit. Mumbled a bit.
Oh my god. For adventuring.
Looking through the various utensils for cooking, there isn't anything that otherwise you don't have access to already. A lot of their stuff is basic. They do have some things which are more advanced in terms of like technology-wise. Where Elsyan was given the flatbread press, there do seem to be like these large kind of metal and wooden paddles, which seem to be used for making like very nice elven flatbread pizzas. You do very much note that there are other things as well, kind of these metal cages that are put in boiling fat for making some battered foods. But outside of that, there's nothing that particularly stands out for usefulness in adventuring. A lot of stuff for specific food types, but nothing for outside of that you don't already have. Okay. Anything else you wish to do before you speak to the Emperor?
Well, we'd clue Sasha, Elsyan and Bern in regards to storm giants and what's going on there before we go in, so they know that what we're going to talk to the Emperor about.
And if they have any insight into, what the hell's going on.
I mean, what else you know anything about storm giants? What? I can't. This is a stretch, I will admit. But is there a chance that I would have?
You got your advanced book of lore, so I'll say go ahead and roll me a history check with disadvantage. If anybody else, if anybody knows the language of giant, go ahead and roll me a history check with disadvantage as well. Unless you're proficient in history.
History check. Oh, my history's pretty good. That's a 16.
And I got
Both dice cocked.
Because
14.
Because Sam knows quite a lot about storm giants. Because I just looked up giants quite a bit, but
14.
obviously, that's better knowledge in it. So.
Okay, so what was that you got there, each of you, sorry?
16?
I got 14.
16 and 14.
I...
Yeah, if you have to head off, then don't worry. It's near the end of the session anyway, so that's fine.
Alright, take care, y'all.
Catch you later.
Take care.
See you later, Sudz.
Have a good time.
Stay safe.
Bye.
Yeah.
So, with the 16 and 14, with the 14, the most you know about storm giants is they're generally very strong individuals. They typically live near the sea for the most part. However, some do live in like very rainy and stormy areas and mountains to a degree. So there is kind of that slight difference in what kind of storm giant they might be. In terms of what you know, Elsyan, you're less proficient with the general storm giant knowledge and more about the Empire-specific storm giants. The only ones that are categorically known are the ones that live in the central portion, right next to the Empire. They are allies, and that bond was forged with one of the previous emperors or empresses of the Empire. I need to go and look it up. I do have it written down, but I'll find it later if you're interested. Where the alliance was forged between them, the Storm Giants gained control of their territory when they were pushed out of Arcathoon. Arcathoon used to be Storm Giant territory, but after the Fire Giants and the Ancient Red Dragons came, they otherwise took the territory and pushed the Storm Giants westward. The Stone Giants handed over a portion of their territory, and the Storm Giants became good allies and friends with Oregon and the Emperor of the time, who then forged an alliance between the Gif, who were then suffering badly from the torrential rainstorms, but then found a common ground in protecting one another. Their airships wouldn't get damaged, and they'd get safe passage over the Empire's terrain from any rain or thunder, but in exchange, the Gif wouldn't fight back. So it was a mutual relationship between the two of them. That's what you understand, and that's what you know. Between the two of you, that's the sort of thing that you understand. They do have the ability to control weather to a degree, kind of keeping back the storms, and there are specialised casters for that sort of thing within their community, but that's the most that you know.
Quintessence.
And they got pushed out of Arcathoon. Huh.
Yes, they got pushed out of Arcathoon initially. It was known as the... this is information that I'd need to go and dig up, old information that I'd need to go find. But the general knowledge is that Storm Giants used to live up there, then they were pushed westward. Yeah, I believe it used to be known as the Charred Stormfronts, is what it used to be called, because the Fire Giants and the Storm Giants used to collide a lot, and then the Fire Giants recruited Ancient Red Dragon help, and then it went from there. This was about 200 years ago.
Fire Giants being a bit belligerent. I'm shocked.
Not that shocked.
Okay. So...
I'll see if I can find the exact details of that later, but that's the general notion of it for what happened.
That's cool. Okay, so historically, yeah, we're gonna try and catch the Emperor and find out what's going on, but after what we read about ley lines earlier, I'm wondering if maybe there's something to do with what we're trying to find up there. It just seems weird that an entire fortress of Storm Giants potentially has gone missing.
Strange that they were able to be pushed out as well.
I mean, that's no small feat. That's got to be something quite powerful to do that.
But would I know like the basic hierarchy of giants?
Yes, there is a king who is seen as the good one and the strong one, but
the different types of giants.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Storm Giants are the greatest, followed by Cloud, then Fire and Frost simultaneously, and then Hill Giants. However, there are also other types of giants that have been categorized, which are Flab Giants, Swamp Giants, and Under Giants.
Flab Giants?
And Desert Giants as well.
Sounds horrible.
Flab Giants are great.
I mean, I've seen the image for Hill Giants. How are they not the same?
They're shorter and they're fatter, and they have an attack, which literally means they sit on you. You make all of your athletics checks and acrobatics checks to escape with disadvantage.
I know this
the
is kind
hobbit of the giant world.
I know this is like meta knowledge stuff, but Hill Giants' entire society is based off who's the fattest.
Yeah.
There's an entire race of giants that's just better at them than being fat.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Can I put this forward?
Let me see if I have the title for one.
Hill Giants are that one titan from Hercules.
I don't think I do.
You've been referencing that a lot.
Hercules.
Have I? No, this is a different Hercules.
For fuck's
This
sake.
is the animated Hercules.
Oh, I'm sorry. You mentioned
Disney
Hercules.
classic. Sorry.
What, you telling me the one with Dwayne The Rock Johnson isn't a Disney classic?
Honestly, now that you say that, it might be Disney. I don't know.
It was pretty good.
But no, you do know the guy I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's a monster from a different source book, but that's what a Flab Giant looks like.
What cursed creature? Oh, I dislike Tomophos. That looks like Tomophos to me.
It's not Tome of Foes, but yeah.
It's not.
Um,
Okay, I will also just throw out there. I dislike the madman that invented most. Of
I
the
love the
monsters.
best thing about it as well. They have one ability and it's detrimental to them. It's massive. They can't take the dash action. However, attacks that push, trip, or grapple are all made with disadvantage against the Flab Giant.
Take a look at them. Their legs are like elephant legs.
Oh, but look at now.
Well,
Look at
like,
those
jump,
cankles,
jump.
guys.
We are
Look at the
getting
cankles.
distracted. But yes, there are multiple different
Are
types
we?
of desert.
I'm...
There's desert giants, flab giants, and then there's cave giants or under giants, as they're typically known.
So, considering the storm giants are the strongest of the giants,
Yes. The only other ones on par would be cloud giants or cave giants, which sit at that level. Fire giants
and
are on...
neither of those two are as combative as storm giants can be, while
Yes.
still keeping the intelligence.
Correct.
Might I put this forward? Flab giant modeling, specifically various
Oh.
types of squashed elephant.
No,
Make a-
clearly, you see, they are all wearing. They are all modelling mankinis.
oh,
Okay, we will move on, or I'm going
Oh.
to start dealing damage.
oh my
So,
god,
I will also accept damage for that comment, Chris.
no, that was your
Could it
warning.
Potentially could be Arcafoon. Coming from Arcafoon, whatever was dealing with the storm giants, or has caused the storm giants a problem.
I mean, it's possible. Everything evil under the sun seems to come from there.
Do we know where we know where Arcathun is, right?
Yeah, it's literally listed on the map. The only reason people don't go there is because ancient dragons plus fire giants plus problems. Plus difficult to
Okay.
reach.
Now I
And
hate
I'm
to say
probably
this.
fine for the most part.
I hate to say this. Looking at this, we've been looking for like. We're looking for like an evil lair, I presume, right now, aren't we?
Oh no, we know Arcathun is an evil lair, yes.
Yes, good. I just
It's
didn't
even
want
got a dragon above it on the map.
Look, I just didn't want to sit. Like, no, we know it is, but could it be the evil lair we're looking for? Like, with
Possibly.
Queglod's dad is living in it, as is Ringar, as is Devad,
As
This
is
is-
Minotaur.
as
Well,
is
I mean,
the mask. I assume the
possible.
mask is just living with those guys and waiting for us to turn
I
up.
mean, we're pretty sure that the army is not on the material plane, but that doesn't
I mean,
mean
the rest
that
of them aren't.
Goiva isn't.
Just as a general note as well, Bern will correct you on the whole Devad thing. If Devad is on the material plane, you'd know about it because there'd be a second there'd be a second war. Yeah, with Devad in the nature that he is, he's sealed off somewhere within the rift.
I know. Look, I know that. Elsyan knows that. Just the hyperbole needed to
Yeah.
be said.
That's fine.
That I get. It's a classic case of I wonder where the evil villain's lair is. Big black cathedral in the centre of town.
That's on fire.
That's got fire about the place.
Mm.
Dragons flying around it, and he was just going, "Boy, I wonder where it is."
So,
we reckon it could be our. I think we should check out, or
It's
at
a
least
shot.
wait until the guys check out that storm fortress. If there's evidence of scuffling and the storm giants are gone, then I mean, I'm willing to hedge a bet that we can point a finger in this direction. But clearly something has happened, and that something isn't just a casual. A guy's just walked into a storm giant's fortress and just gone, "Fuck you," because there's a lot of storm giants in a fortress, I imagine. So it's got to be someone of either power or something serious to hold them up.
as you're having this conversation, where it's been about 3 hours, it's about 10 o'clock in the morning, you can hear the wind and rain begins to die down lightly. It is now gone to a more of a traditional wind force. It's a bit more of like a strong wind rather than a gale or torrential rainstorm. But it is still kind of light, medium to heavy rain.
It's lulling us into a false sense of security. Stay inside.
It knows what we want.
And we shall not know peace. Anyway.
Yes, I.
Oh, in case you didn't tell, we had a bit of an incident.
Yeah. You look wet.
Yeah, if particularly you, Sasha, if you had trouble dealing with the wind, then it must be pretty serious.
It's not good.
Why
I
is me
do-
having trouble not cause alarm?
love.
You don't have the.
Particularly Sasha.
You don't. You're taller, and you don't have the gauntlets of magic strength.
And you're not heavy. No offense, Sasha.
You know what?
You know what? You're right.
Keep
You're
going.
right.
This is boosting my ego.
You
I mean, the
married
weight
me.
is mostly the
Fuck
arm.
off.
I know, and I definitely settled. Look at me.
What did you say, Queglod?
No, the weight is mostly the arm.
Okay, I am going to use physical means to cast the reduce part of the enlarge reduce spell on Elsyan.
Please do not. Please do not.
Do you want to make an attack roll?
Clearly, I'm the reacher in our relationship. Clearly, you're the settler.
Do you wish to make an attack roll, Sasha?
Yeah, I'm good. But I'm watching you.
Have you,
Look,
Sasha?
look. We're both incredibly attractive for our races, and quite frankly, no one else is good enough for either of us.
Agreed.
Well, yeah, the last bit's correct.
Look, I don't know which one of us looks better, but we're at least number one and number two. I'm number one. Right, let's.
You both have
So-
equally bad charisma, but that's not what we use to measure beautifulness. So, or beauty rather. So, yeah,
Beautifulness, innit?
beautifulness.
Beautifulness.
My intelligence just dropped by 5.
Nah, come on, mine just did.
So,
Fucking hell, what were we doing?
It's waiting for the Emperor.
you're waiting for the Emperor. The wind and rain has begun to die down, and do you want to go outside at all, check on it, or are you staying inside, like you said?
I mean, Elsyan's staying inside. He now has fear of weather.
Okay.
Yeah.
About
Let me
15 minutes or so before about 15 minutes or so before you're kind of due to speak to the Emperor, with the guards moving around and kind of preparing for the court exchange. You see a few of the other individuals kind of traveling to and from the hallways. You kind of exchange pleasantries, but nothing in specific is spoken of. You note a few individuals kind of going in and out of the main door now, and the rain has begun to kind of fall to a low trickle, and the wind has almost not necessarily died down completely, but it's kind of a light and gentle wind. You can see there's kind of a low mist hanging from the moisture where it's still clinging to the cold ground. Okay. Without anything further to do, you wait outside the large double doors to the courtroom, and as you're otherwise allowed in, you head into the large central interior. The Emperor is sat upon his throne, his court sat around him, as all of them would be, given the events of what's happening and how everyone is still here. Each of the individuals... No one's leaving in that rain, no. Everyone's still here, and everyone sits within the court chamber as you enter. And we will pick this up next week,
Nice.
as I feel like that is a good spot for the stopping of today's session. So, for the stream and the YouTube when it makes it there, thank you for watching, hopefully you enjoyed, and we will not be here next week, but we will be the week after, and hopefully we will have everybody as they discuss weather and undead. Alright, thanks for watching, hopefully you enjoyed. See you next time!
Bye.
Bye.